Hello people of Earth, it's your pal the Orbital Outcast, Rad Gnarly, coming your way with another low-key broadcast. Today we're presenting the Trios Tournament of Terror Trace in Fire Pro Wrestling World. But first I'd like to say hello to everyone in chat or checking us out on VOD. No matter where or when you happen to be in this great big old world of ours, we're happy to have you with us. We hope the day finds you well. Alright, let's get ourselves over to the GWA screen. I took the liberty of pre-booking everything. Actually, before we get to the event itself, let's head on down to the old GWA Event Center. Hiya! There we go, and take a look at tonight's title matches. Now, before we get to the Trios Tournament of Terror Trace, which is our October event in this, our 6th year of existence in this video game wrestling universe, we have the September event to present, and present it we shall. It's going to feature a handful of title matches. Let me cue up the first one here, as we are going to see Kenny Omega challenge the newest champion, or the newest for the newest championship in the GWA, facing Keiji Muto for the Legends title. And then later on in that same card, we are going to see Hall of Fame champion Eddie Guerrero put the belt on the line against the Wild Thing, John Moxley. That was an interesting fade there, as Moxley sort of, or Omega sort of became John Moxley there. And in the main event, let's see if this can go for 3 with odd transitions, since they're just fading. In the main event, the GWA Junior title is on the line. That belt's been bouncing around a little bit. Someone who wants to bring some stability to it is Dragon Rojo Jr., who just won that #1 contendership tournament. He'll be taking on the new champion, Becky Lynch. Yeah, another sort of interesting fade. A lot of similar poses on these matchup graphics. Okay, so that's going to be the 3 title matches you're going to get in the first event. Let's go now to the actual game screen. There we go, everybody's here. Oh yeah, we had some friends joining us, so I wanted to make sure they arrived first, so I took the liberty of pre-booking. As I'm just sort of booking in advance in my little text file and stuff anyway, so if I just put it in the game, it's not that bad. Some of the stuff, obviously, I'll be putting the cards together live. Actually, depending on who's involved in the cards going forward, I got a little sneaky side project going on in my hiring practices between now and the end of the year. It's going to play out storyline-wise, so you have to be a little little sneakier about how I do things from here on out. But hang on, let's go through this card right quick. All right, without giving too much away, we have in our first match Brodie Lee taking on CM Punk. Just to start things off, there should be a hot match to start things off. Brodie Lee is sort of redeeming himself after being in a bit of a funk, looking to continue that. CM Punk is sort of newly back with the promotion, and just checking the records quickly here. Had a banger with Keith Lee last month, which he was victorious. So looking to continue that momentum against larger opponents is Punk in his return to the GWA. And then we have trios action. We have, okay, so I think it's Yuki Ueno is in from DDT. And then, I don't know the gentleman's first name, but their last name is Yagi, it's one of the young boys in from New Japan. And they're all going to be teaming with our Legends Junior champion, Yohei, against, this I can do easily, Bill Bullock and Dave Mastiff, the Yard Dogs, and Jushin Thunder Liger. So in this trios match, looks like Yohei has enlisted some friendlies from some friendly promotions, and Liger has enlisted the Yard Dogs to help him out in six-person tag team action. That's why we call them trios matches. It's just quicker to say. And then following that, we have a singles match between Chris Statlander and Flamita, some singles action in your junior heavyweight division. And then the title matches begin. Kenny Omega taking on Keiji Muto for the Legends Championship, which we already mentioned. Now we have, coming up here, kind of like from match 4 on, you could say they're all main events, because we have an all-star trios match coming up before the final 2 title fights here, as Bret Hart, Kurt Angle, and the newest signee to the GWA will be teaming up to take on Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, and The Undertaker. An all-star, star-studded trios match before our final 2 title fights here. And the debut of our newest signee on the team of Bret Hart, Kurt Angle, and TBD. And then we have, of course, our 2 main events, the Hall of Fame Championship up for grabs, Eddie Guerrero against John Moxley. And in the main event, the GWA Junior Championship on the line. This is what Dragon Rojo Jr. fought it for a tournament 4. Dragon Rojo Jr. getting his title shot against the newly crowned champion Becky Lynch. Dragon Rojo Jr. looking to become the first hat trick GWA Junior Champion, looking to win the belt for the 3rd time. Be the only competitor to do so. All right, so that's just sort of a preview of what we're about to see in show, or I was going to say show 9, but it's the September show, so it's the 9-month show. We're not quite at max attendance, as you can see in the corner there. That's by design. Like, I knew that we weren't going to be full when I booked everything. We are in the largest arena in Mexico, but we're charging $20 a head instead of our normal 10, and we almost filled the place. So we'll try to put on another successful show and see if we can't get $20 out of the Mexican crowd for it. Just to sort of like, the more in demand and the higher tickets we can go and still sell out, the bigger, for whatever reason, the bigger we still get in the country. So we're still looking to become like S across the board. Be super special all over. We've achieved it in America. We're at a B in Mexico. And this is, again, another Mexican show we're doing. We're going back to the Americas, or back to North America, I should say, for the Trios Tournament of Terror. Have yet to book that. We're going to try to put that in a football stadium if we can. Maybe a baseball diamond. That'd be something fun. Probably a baseball diamond. We're going to need open air with the rule sets, from what I'm hearing, from the rumors I'm hearing coming out of the office. Anyway, enough rambling. Let's get to our first match of the day. Brodie Lee, CM Punk. Let me get myself out of the way. Hoya! Let's get down to the ring. Boom. As always, the creature on feature, the senior official here in the GWA, Mr. Bigfoot, calling for the bell, and we are underway. Brodie Lee, as we said, sort of redeeming himself. A couple of solid singles performances, or a couple of solid performances overall these past few months. Had been in a bit of a slump, to the point of being in danger of being sent on excursion by his training camp mentor, Bret Hart, leader of the Standard. Brodie Lee trying to set the standard and work his way up the ranks to possible title contention. CM Punk returning to the promotion after an extended tour away. It seems like we were sending him off to different promotions every other month or so. Trying to keep his feet firmly grounded in the GWA and climb those rankings himself. I don't believe CM Punk has received a title shot in his career here in the GWA. I'd have to check my notes, or if he has, they've been few and far between. Both of these gentlemen looking to get into contention. And a win here on this grand stage. This beautiful arena in Mexico here in front of approximately 18,000 fans. A nice sellout here. And go a long way to improve their chances on possible title rankings here. Hang on, we have the new Legends Championship that admittedly is going to be a lower card belt, with sort of the secondary title in the Hall of Fame Championship, and of course the world title being the main title focus. We sort of have enough championship belts now to sort of fill a card full if we really wanted to. We might just do it with the last show of the year. Wink, wink. Hang on. Action spilling out to the floor now. No disqualification or count out outside the ring in the GWA. They can brawl all they want until they return to the ring. The only place to count a 3 or a tap and end this thing. We're just past the 5-minute mark, and they're getting out into the crowds now. CM Punk striking away. Fantastic combination there. Now grabs a chair. Both of these gentlemen going to be involved in the Trios Tournament of Terror Trace next month. Hang on, a doctor bomb and a Brodie Lee planting CM Punk quickly back to his feet. That was some punishment to the back of Brodie Lee in his own right. Oh gosh, turns him inside out with that clothesline and then buries his face into the chair with that elbow. As the big rig Brodie Lee. This thing turning back into a wrestling match. Nice neckbreaker off the ropes from Punk, trying to regain the advantage here. Punk's got to work quickly against the larger and stronger Brodie Lee. Oh, super kick under the jaw. You can see the toll the match is already taken. We haven't even gone 10 minutes here. Oh, Brodie almost dimming the lights on CM Punk, but he's able to roll that shoulder. Punk working the midsection. He must have noticed, as we have, that the wind is severely lacking Brodie Lee, who hits that dark discus lariat. 1, 2, no, Punk escapes. I don't think Brodie got all of it, because he himself is a little worse for wear, a little winded. Needs to create some time and space to get his win back. I don't even know if he can run all the way there. Barely makes it to CM Punk, but hits that big boot. And able to catch his breath a bit. Is Brodie Lee still pouring it on here? Punk's got a heck of a mountain to climb. Brodie Lee weathering the storm. Hang on! Go to sleep out of nowhere by Punk, and he hooks the leg! 2 and 3, CM Punk! As we said, weathering the storm was Brodie Lee. Likewise, CM Punk picking his spot. And 1 go to sleep later. 1, 2, 3. Took him less than 10 minutes. 99%. Hot diggity dang. That is making excellent use of your time. Holy moly. All right then. CM Punk defeating Brodie Lee. 99%. Whew. Heck of a start to the show. Nowhere to go but, well, I mean, technically there's a little where to go. There's a little wiggle room to go up. But let's see if we can maintain the momentum as we go to this first of 2 trios matches tonight. Like normally I have tag matches, but I figured since the trios event was next month, we'd preview that a little bit with a pair of trios matches. Starting, of course, with this, continuing the feud over the Legends Junior title. We have Jushin Thunder Liger teaming with the Yard Dogs, going up against, in the blue corner, current Junior Legends champion Yohei. Or is that Legends Junior champion? I gotta figure out which is the best way to say that. Too bad I couldn't rename the belts. Yohei is teaming up with... okay, I didn't write down their full name, so forgive me, but it's Yuki from DDT and Yagi from New Japan Pro Wrestling. So Yuki, Yagi, and Yohei against Bullock, Mastiff, and Liger. And now you can see why I put the 3 of them together, as I will be referring to them as Yuki, Yagi, and Yohei. Sound like Hanna-Barbera characters, but that's all right. Let's get down to the ring for this trios contest. Hoyai! Gee, I hope I can tell them apart. That is Yuki Ueno in the ring, I know that. In there against Bill Bullock. Senior official. Mr. Bigfoot calling for the whistle already. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here. Oh, they've gone primary. No. Well, they've gone RGB. Have the Yard Dogs and Liger. Bill Bullock in the black and green. Dave Mastiff in the black and red. Jushin Liger in the blue and white. Interesting. So, somewhat of a matching set. Yuki Ueno there in the decorated white trunks. Hang on. Look over there, gets nothing. Yagi, New Japan Young Lion being tagged in. Look for a no-frills approach here. Look in the sportsmanship, of course. The utmost respect being shown from this youngster. Bill Bullock showing none. Trying to grab that piece of table for use in the ring. Like we said, expect a very nuts and bolts approach from Yagi. Quick tag out from Bullock to Jushin Thunder Liger. Been beside himself, feeling oh so blue since putting up the belt. The Legends Junior title sounds better than the Junior Legends title. The Legends Junior title up against Yohei and being defeated for that belt. Now we're seeing champion and former champion in the ring against one another once again. This feud continuing well beyond that initial singles contest here, my word. Neither men leaving anything back on those strikes. Nice takeover into the turnbuckle there by Liger. Smartly isolating Yohei in the red corner. Or you can tag either of the Yard Dogs if he needs to, and he might need to. Yohei fighting back here, and there we see Liger immediately retreating and tagging in Dave Mastiff for the first time in the matchup. Certainly power member of this trio. Hang on. Bill Bullock dropping off the apron quickly. Now that Yohei's on the floor, Yuki and Yagi not quite sure what to do. Nope. Now here comes Yagi and Yuki. Yagi not quite able to get around the ring. Decides to drop kick the post, and that seems to get him around the corner. Smartly done. Okay, he's learning. Every little bit helps. And now all 6 gentlemen in this corner. Don't need to remind you, this thing will continue as a brawl where anything goes. So there we go. Now Liger and Yohei back in the ring. This thing should settle down soon. Oh, did I see the application of a stomach claw on the floor? Yagi somehow able to survive there. Perhaps Bullock more interested in getting back to the matchup proper. Yagi there had something to say. Couldn't quite get the time in to attack Mastiff. But Yohei's able to tag out to Yuki. Yuki in there now, Yuki Ueno. Oh, against Liger. Nice back elbow up to the Shotei palm strike. And now posing for the crowd is the Legend. Going up top and dropping an elbow. What a combination from Liger here. Shooting star press into the cover. Almost puts Yuki away. Does Jushin Thunder Liger, and what a sequence there. Oh, seems to have ticked off the veteran, spiking it with a tombstone on the floor. Once again, this thing spilling out into the corner. Outside the ring. A lot of wooden implements and bats and canes and so on. Another tombstone this time for Yohei from Liger. Barely at the 10-minute mark, and this thing has been rough from the start. You can feel it in the air. The Trios Tournament of Terror coming your way next month. Tensions high in the locker rooms. Oh, big splash there from Mastiff. You can hear the 10-minute call. Barely. This crowd very much into the action there. Seeing Liger make it a quick tag to Bullock. Likewise, Yuki tagging in Yohei. Bullock unaware, able to dodge the drop kick. In comes the Legends Junior Champion. Yohei trying to initiate a double team on Bullock, but getting double teamed himself. Hang on. Mastiff waiting for Yohei to stand. Oh, Liger actually preventing the double team on Yohei, but nobody's stopping that brain buster. Yohei in a heap of trouble. Meanwhile, Bullock in some discomfort thanks to Yuki and Yagi. Nice, Uranagi from Yuki now, who just decks Yagi to try to get him out of the way, and a low blow for Yuki now. Oh no! Yohei's been critical by Dave Mastiff, and that will do it! Good gracious. Not the legal fighter, but we got to stop the match. Yohei was legal, Dave Mastiff not, but with Bill Bullock on the floor, anything sort of goes in the ring as well. My word, referee stoppage. We got to find out Yohei's condition here. We got to get somebody down to that ring, lickety split. My word. Dave Mastiff with an impressive win. That actually throws a, depending on how that goes. Oh dear. He was scheduled to make a title defense in a couple of months. I don't know if he's going to make it now after that. My word. Yohei squished by Big Dave Mastiff. That might have more than one implication on the future title match that had been penciled in. Able to scrape ahead at an 80% though. Didn't really get out of that third gear. Was getting there, but unfortunately that accident happened and the referee had to stop the match. We hope Yohei's okay. Okay, and the show's got to roll on. Well, thankfully the first show was such a banger that we're still sitting around 90%. Doesn't look like anybody's left, from what I can tell. All right, now just hurrying things along. We have ourselves some singles action in the junior division as Chris Statlander is about to take on Flamita. Both of these competitors also involved in the coming Trios Tournament of Terror. I believe most of the competitors that you're going to see are involved. We have 24 people scheduled for the tournament, as per usual. An 8-team Trios tournament coming your way next month. But right now we've got singles action. Chris Statler in the blue, Flamita in the pink and red. Another important singles contest, as there are now two singles junior titles to contend for within this league. Obviously the main one being the GWA Junior Heavyweight Championship. Our secondary is now the GWA Legends Junior Championship. Another, let's say, a lower to mid-tier belt, but that's all right. Oh, dear. Have almost 16 junior competitors and about, I think we're going to end up with about just under 30 heavyweight contenders. So got a pretty good mix for the 5 singles championships that we're going to be in regular rotation here in the GWA, as well as our tag belts. We're going to have sort of 6 regular titles in rotation. We don't have enough active tag teams to have more than 1 tag team title. Like full-time teams for sure. We have, you know, factions obviously that can contribute, but so if we do 3 and 3 between major and minor shows, or perhaps do like 3 on the minor at least, and do more than that on the major. Hang on. Good pin attempts. Talking some inside baseball as this match is going on, and you see Flamita now grabbing the leg. One-legged lion tamer by Flamita, trying to pull the foot off of Chris Statlander, perhaps, or just pull her leg off from the knee on down. My word. Statlander able to duck that leg lariat from Flamita, but Flamita retaining control, at least momentarily. Another nice dodge there by Statlander. Isn't able to dodge these chops, though. Going shot for shot. Statlander getting the best of Flamita at the 5-minute mark here. Oh, nice drop kick there by Flamita. But Statlander quickly back to her feet. Oh, maybe a little rattled still. Some poor timing there. Oh my gosh. Arm dragged out of the ring is Chris Statlander by Flamita. Buys himself a little bit of time there to catch his breath. Smartly done by the member of Shawn Michaels' Heartbreakers stable. We're going to see them as part of the Heartbreakers trio being represented in the Trios Tournament of Terror Trace, coming your way the second half of this broadcast. Chris Statlander herself is going to be involved on I don't know if it's going to be a regular team, but certainly a team on that night. More information on that before we launch the tournament itself. We'll be giving you a rundown of all the competitors and who they're going to be facing in the first round, as well as announcing the rules set, which has yet to be decided upon, finalized, I should say. But we shall get there. I'll likely have it up and displayed whilst I'm booking it in the game in the background. Oh, huge chop there. Every chop out of Flamita. You can see he puts everything he has into it. No quarter given and none asked for from the somewhat demonic Flamita. Statlander now reversing him into the corner. Working on the midsection. Trying to steal his oxygen.
1, 2.
Forcing him into the kick out. Shooting star press. Pin attempt by Flamita now. Forcing Statlander to kick out. Nice small package. Tight hook on that, but Chris Statlander able to escape. Nice exchange there of some near falls. Oh. That punch drop kick combo from Flamita paying dividends. So we're now 10 minutes into this one. Another mistimed move off the ropes. Flamita capitalizing. But Statlander kicks out. Muscle buster into a power bomb. Nice slam there by Statlander. I'd say Flamita probably the favorite in this one. Hang on. Electric chair drop by Statlander, but Flamita fights his way back to his feet first. Oh, reverses into the tombstone. Statlander maybe going for Big Bang Theory, but she just got 2 knees to the face. 2. Statlander kicks out at 2. Great resilience being shown here by the relative newcomer to the junior heavyweight division here in the GWA, the Galaxy's greatest, Chris Statlander. Oh. Super kick with authority by Flamita. Looking to put Statlander away. Back into the powerbomb. 2 and no! Statlander rolls the shoulder. Oh my God! Double underhook flipped over into a backbreaker. Oh, and now just a spin kick to the back of the head by Flamita. Misses a second. Some poor timing by Flamita off the ropes, but he stays on his feet. Looking for that knockout shot, and this could do it. Too close to the ropes. Statlander still has life. Drops Flamita with a shot to the back of the head. Trying to daze him. Oh, missing the second. Scoring with the back elbow now, getting herself some time. Is Statlander beginning to feel it here? Hooks the leg. Almost knocked him out with that kick. Huge clothesline from Statlander. I think the next major move is going to win this one. Quick leg trip by Statlander, just trying to control her opponent. Huge tackle off the ropes. This is it. Big Bang Theory. 1, 2, no! Flamita gets out. Super kick under the jaw. Pulls Statlander back to her feet immediately. Pump kick off the ropes this time by Flamita. Oh, the delay to the German suplex. Look at the bridge, and it gets the 3. Big win by Flamita, but what a showing from Chris Statlander. Well, all right. That was a good time. How'd we do? Oh, baby. The deadlift German getting the crowd right back into it. Another 99 match. Wunderbar. You love to see it. You love to see him bounce back like that. Thank you so much. It's the kind of talent level you're going to see each and every week here in the GWA. Sure, we had an injury in the previous match. But look at this troupe bouncing back and putting on a show for y'all. All right. Right back into the swing of things. And we got our first title fight on the way. Keiji Muto, who just brought the Legends Championship here to the GWA, is putting the belt on the line in an open title fight capacity, just open challenges. Whoever wants to can fight for him. The first responder in that regard, the best bout machine, Kenny Omega. So we're about to see Kenny Omega try to wrestle the Legends Championship from Squared Circle K leader, Keiji Muto. Let me go ahead and save this one more time. Get on to the next match and get myself out the way. There we go. As always, senior official, Mr. Bigfoot, calls for the whistle. A whistle while we work. Muto looking to keep things more to his pace, more of a grounded wrestler, especially in this advanced age, let's say, in his latter years of his multi-decade career. Going to look to bring Omega down to the mat and keep him there for the figure 4. Or should Kenny Omega deign to rise back to his feet once more to strike him with a shining wizard? Both of these men well adept using their knees to strike with. Well, I feel as though Kenny Omega might have a little more height on his. A lot of dragon screws and low drop kicks. Staying low to the mat. Generally speaking, is Keiji Muto, unless he's feeling it. And busts out that rounded body press. AKA that high speed, all impact moonsault. From the almost 40-year vet, I would think. Guy's 60, I'm sure he started when he was like 20. Got to be close to it. It's at least 30, for sure. Muto blocking the Irish whip off the ropes there. Kenny Omega. Excellent poise for a wrestler his age. He's, in his time, hang on, had quite the career himself, seen and done it all in a lot of ways. Certainly not intimidated by the presence of a Keiji Muto.
You can't escape.
Telling Muto he can't escape. That rolling splash, and Muto trying to slow things down. There's that figure 4. Trying to wear down Omega from the jump here.
Yeah.
Nicely done. Kataro crusher there out of Kenny Omega. Off the ropes. Once again, Muto trying to slow things down and keep it on the mat. He's going to try to control the pace of this thing and wait for Kenny Omega to make a mistake. Try to maybe knock him out with a shining Wizard while he continually works on the legs. Oh, early attempt perhaps at the moonsault out of Muto, but doesn't have Omega worn down nearly enough as we're sub 7 minutes in this contest. Hang on, action spilling out to the floor. Omega grabs a chair. Muto making him pay for it with the Dragon Screw leg whip. Oh dear! Oh! Cradle pile driver onto the metal chair by Keiji Muto. Omega doesn't know where he is. He tried to roll up Muto on the floor. Keiji now rolling back into the ring. Oh, Omega hitting a second roll up, but only a 1 count between the two of them. He's stuck in roll up mode. It's Kenny Omega after that pile driver on the chair. Muto with a backdrop suplex. Low drop kick, as we talked about. He'll be working the legs, specifically the knees. And you do not want to give up back control to Kenny Omega. Hang on, Shining Wizard by Muto. Into the cover. 1, 2. No. Kenny Omega barely escapes. In a heap of trouble since that pile driver onto the chair. Muto making a rare mistake there. Attempting a pin. Much too close to the ropes. As we are just now past the 10-minute mark. Hang on, another Shining Wizard by Muto. Looking to knock Kenny's block off for the win. No, Omega escapes again. Kenny now going for it all with the one-winged angel. 1, 2, no. Muto escapes and into a Shining Wizard. Drags him away from the ropes. 1, 2, 3. It was brief but violent, and Keiji Muto successfully defends the Legends Championship. My word, 3 Shining Wizards and a kick out of the one-winged angel. All right. All right. Okay. Shining Wizard, hooked leg pinfall 2. Bing bang boom. Title defense. Go to Keiji Muto. Okay. Oh, I did some, I don't think I did the title history of this yet. Hang on. There's not much to it, but I can show you. 1 second. Here, let me bring up the notepad. There you go. As you can see, at the top of your screen there, like right about there, Keiji Muto is the 4th Legends Champion, currently in his first reign, defeating Masahiro Chono, who won the belt from Shinya Hashimoto, who won the belt from Davey Richards. I did a little research prior to the beginning of the stream here to see what who else had held the championship before, and it's still a relatively undefeated or undefended belt, so it you know, lends more credence to putting it sort of in the lower card. Sometimes I'll open the show with it. I don't think I'm gonna defend it higher than like 4th match on a card. I think that's probably where it taps out. Speaking of tapping out, we have another trios match your way that features Bret the Hitman Hart and Kurt Angle teaming up with a mystery man or woman, the newest signee here in the GWA, taking on the All-Star team. Mind you, they're both All-Star teams, in this reporter's opinion, of, hang on 1 second, Steve Austin, your current GWA champion, the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, and The Undertaker. So this is sort of another preview of the sort of trios action you might be able to expect. A number of these athletes involved in next month's trios tournament. In fact, everyone on Austin's team, I don't know about anyone or everyone on Bret's team. We'll find out when we get down to the ring to see who their who the third man is, as Bret, Angle, and Mystery take on Austin and HBK and Taker. All right, let me get out of the way. Got to save it again. Can't help myself. And oh yeah, and then oh yeah. As Mr. Bigfoot is about to call for the bell, perhaps we can see him on the apron. And there he is. Please welcome to the GWA. We're going to see him in the blue corner very shortly once again, as Bret and Shawn are starting this thing off. Hang on, you may have caught a glimpse of him. We'll see him a few more times, perhaps 5 times. As Bret Hart's working his way over in the corner. There he is, the very corner of your screen. The barest glimpse of the newest signee here in the GWA. Booker T has inked pen to paper. Wrestle exclusively down the gnarly wrestling aisle. We couldn't be happier to have you with us. There's a nice shot of him on the apron there with partner Kurt Angle. Oh my, Kurt Angle, Booker T, and Bret Hart. It is the Mafia and the Hitman teaming up together here. As we said, an all-star trios contest. As we're amping up the crowd for trios action in anticipation of the Trios Tournament of Terror coming your way in the second half of tonight's broadcast. This first card is flown by, but has been relatively well received from the crowd here. So I'm not too upset about it. It's not going to take me long to set up the tournament. I am going to preemptively say this might be a shorter broadcast. Sometimes we run very long, and sometimes we might have actually get out of here before the 3-hour mark. We shall see. It'd also be pretty neat if I didn't disconnect from Twitch during my streams. As I see, I've only been on the air for 20 minutes, which I know is faulty. Boo earns. All right. Booker T in the GWA ring for the first time here. The newest signee. Hanging out to Angle. Those two gentlemen, no strangers to one another. On either side of the ring. Neither, of course, are Undertaker or Angle.
5 minutes gone.
5 minutes gone in this all-star trios match. Coming up, we have a pair of title matches headed your way. Before we announce the rules for and participants in the Trios Tournament of Terror Trace. A one-night 18 deathmatch trios tournament that we're going to be bringing your way later tonight. Winning team wins the Trios Championships for the coming year. They get to split 666,000 fake dollars. And each individual member of the trios gets a title match against the belt of their choosing, singles or team. Except, of course, the trios title itself that is only defended annually in the Trios Tournament of Terror. I suppose a fourth prize, if you wanted to call it that, is that the winners of the previous tournament are automatically entered into next year's competition, assuming all 3 are still with the company. In the case of, 1 or more people leaving, whomever remains of the championship squad is paired together and fills the remaining, slats. As this thing has spilled out to the floor in a big bad way here. As we see a stunner rock bottom combination out of Austin and Shawn Michaels. Very early in their GWA career, gave us the WrestleMania 14 rematch we were never granted in real life. Those two never had a singles match again. Just sort of two ships passing in the night, barely missed each other by the time Austin was forced to retire, and Michaels was coming back from his injury. Well, I guess he was kind of feuding with Triple H for a bit, was Michaels, at around the time that Austin was sheriff or co-sheriff or co-running Raw with Bischoff for a bit, but yeah, never really crossed paths again. See Michaels now quick to tag in Austin against Booker T.
What?
Michaels there rolling up Booker T, I think just to disorient the man, so Austin can talk his trash. I believe that's actually a move. I know it's a taunt, but I believe that him jaw-jacking him there actually does damage. Psychological, of course. Big part of Austin's game. Psychological warfare, in addition to probably being the most prolific brawler in the history of the Federation. Total elimination out of Booker T and Bret Hart. You don't see that every day. Austin not too happy to see it, but renewing an old rivalry here with Bret the Hitman Hart, the man who helped put Austin on the map. Who can forget their match at WrestleMania the 13th, as it was called at the time. That was it. Wait, that was it, right? Yeah, because 12 was the Iron Man? Yeah. Remember this, and then Sid Taker were the two big matches. Ken Shamrock coming in, that sounds right. Yeah, it'll be an odd year because it's an odd number WrestleMania. Makes sense. Rad off the top, venturing to the top rope. Now locking a Boston Crab on Taker. His partner is quick to break things up there as we're headed toward 15 minutes gone in this trios contest. Hang on, heart attack by Booker T and Bret Hart, busting out a lot of tag team offense. Is the excellence of execution. And Booker T, it seems specifically. First, that total elimination. Big clothesline there by Taker. Winners share the person pride on the line in this all-star, star-studded trios contest. Showcasing our newest signee, Booker T, who just totally eliminated The Undertaker with Bret Hart. Distracting the Hitman. So Austin can get some licks in here. Stone Cold and Bret Hart, tete-a-tete. Austin lures him back into the red corner. Hitman wise to that strategy, dragging Austin all the way across the ring. As Angle and Booker are looking on. The Mafia and their Hitman teaming up in this one. Scooping a slam by Austin. Austin be looking for that Stone Cold Stunner that we know so well, and has also been using the Austin Crab, his version of the Boston Crab. Hang on, Bret Hart, meanwhile in the ring. Well, I say that. Gets planted by The Undertaker. Austin outside the ring not doing much better with that ankle lock from Kurt Angle. Bit of a stalemate. Oh dear. Super kick into the pedigree by HBK and Taker. Now they set Bret Hart up in the corner. Stunner into the rock bottom by Austin and HBK, who's now legal. Shawn goes up top for the sky-high elbow drop. 20 minutes gone in this one, and Bret Hart desperately needs to make a tag and does. In comes Kurt Angle, heart attack. Rolls Shawn over and grabs the ankle. Austin and Taker in there, but Taker, the worse for wear after another heart attack between Bret and Booker. Angle and HBK. Trading blows. Angle comes out on top. Throwing belly to belly. Threw him the wrong direction, able to tag The Undertaker, who sends Angle to the floor and then stands his ground in the center of the ring. Taker looking to subdue Bret Hart and Booker T so Michaels and Austin can work over Angle, and work over Angle they do. Another stunner rock bottom combination. Meanwhile in the ring, some more tag team offense to Taker. We know how resilient the dead man is. Another total elimination. Angle tagging out to Booker T. Taker enraged. As we're headed toward 25 minutes gone in this trios contest. Oh, big miss by Taker. Slugging it out with Booker T. Spin kick. Absorbed by the dead man, and he levels Booker with a clothesline. Both men feeling it. Taker able to tag out to Austin here. Oh my God! A seated version of the taking care of business. It's the TCB2. The Undertaker debuting a new submission. Just torturing Booker T as he couldn't even submit to it. Couldn't even tap out because Taker wasn't legal. Booker in there fighting for his life against Austin. Hasn't been beaten this bad since the last time Austin followed him to a grocery store. Able to tag out to the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle. Battle of the Baldies going on in the ring. Angle setting Austin on the ropes. Austin raking the eyes and stomping him low. Now dropping the point of the elbow in the throat of Angle. Actually, I think he may have caught him in the midsection there. Austin may have been a little off with his aim. But then he points a squishy point to the point of the elbow. Austin able to get all the way across the ring to tag in Michaels, who eats an Angle slam. Into the cover goes Kurt. 1, 2, got him. Kurt Angle snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. Michaels thought he had him cornered. Then Angle wasn't aware of him being tagged in fresh. Caught him with the Angle slam. And we have our winners, Bret Hart, Kurt Angle, and the debuting Booker T. The plus Baron Slam. Sure. The Baron Slam Bear. Whatever you want to call it. Boop. Boop. Okay, Angle over HBK. Good stuff. All right, we're still waiting to hear back from about Yohei's medical condition. We're told that he's been examined by trainers and taken to a local medical facility for further testing. We'll let you know at the conclusion of this broadcast or conclusion of this September show exactly how Yohei is feeling. He was knocked out in his earlier trios match. So best wishes to Yohei and a speedy recovery. We'll see the extent of the injury, as we said, at the conclusion of the September show. And we are set for the semi and main events. First up, the Hall of Fame Heavyweight Championship, no, just the Hall of Fame Championship, is on the line as champion Eddie Guerrero is putting the gold up for grabs against the Wild Thing, Jon Moxley. I'm not going to say too much about it. Let's just get down there and see how she goes. Let's just see how she goes, boys. Let's just see how she goes. As always, the senior official here in the GWA, Mr. Bigfoot, about to call for the whistle. And we are underway. Eddie Guerrero, a bit casually attired in an I'm Your Poppy t-shirt. Over top of his long tights, long black tights with golden blue trim, gold boots. Challenger Jon Moxley in the combat pants with Mox stitched on him, or Zom, depending on which way he's facing. One fall to a finish here. 3 count or tap out. Got to happen in the middle of the ring. No countouts or disqualifications outside the GWA ring. And we couldn't be happier to have you with us strolling down the gnarly wrestling aisle. And this is our semi-main event of one of 2 shows we'll be presenting to you this evening. Main event to come, and then following that we'll be putting together and displaying for you the 3rd annual Trios Tournament of Terror. That's right, it's Trios Tournament of Terror Trace. Coming up in the second half of this very broadcast. Nice DDT there by Jon Moxley, softening up the head and neck of Eddie Guerrero for that paradigm shift double arm DDT variation that has brought him success all over the globe. And here it is, paradigm shift, and he spikes him, but Eddie Guerrero able to roll through. Moxley hitting his finish at the 3-minute mark. Looking to put Eddie down and claim the Hall of Fame Championship for himself. Looks like Moxley doesn't feel like he's worn him down enough, even despite hitting his finish. Eddie now clearing a little time for himself. Instead elects to follow Moxley out to the floor. Nice head scissor takeover there by the Hall of Fame champion. Oh, just the disregard for your opponent's body there on that release suplex from Jon Moxley. Hang on, paradigm shift on the floor. That's twice now in 5 minutes that Eddie Guerrero has found himself on the receiving end of Moxley's finish. Moxley did not come to play around. He's trying to knock out Eddie Guerrero, and in a hurry to claim his first gold here in the GWA. Another sort of wayfaring stranger of the GWA roster. Hang on, was that a skull-crushing finale? Interesting work there from Jon Moxley as Eddie Guerrero awaits his return, trying to get the crowd into this, trying to get the crowd's support as the Hall of Fame champion. as it had been all Moxley in the opening moments of this contest, able to hit his finish twice now on the champ. And back to work on the head and neck with that swinging DDT out of the corner. Into the cover goes Moxley. 1, 2. Eddie barely escapes. The Hall of Fame Championship held in the tenderest and most desperate of grasps by champion Eddie Guerrero from where I am sitting. Spiked once again by Moxley. This has been a clinic from the Wild Thing. Death riding all over. Death Rider versus Low Rider, and so far Death Rider is winning. A couple of low blows there from the Hall of Fame champion. He lies, he cheats, and he steals, and he'll do whatever he can to retain the gold. Moxley able to fight him off. Guerrero, of course, has that beautiful frog splash, as well as the lasso from El Paso that he can finish opponents with. He definitely wears them down with signature moves like the Three Amigos, the triple vertical suplex. That could knock your back out of alignment. Hang on, what do we got here? Gory bomb! The knees of Moxley landing on the chair. 2 and Moxley out at 2. Nice gory bomb there by Guerrero, but it could cost him here as Moxley's now got him in the tree of woe, just wailing on his midsection there. Laying in the boots is Jon Moxley. Moxley going up top, waiting for Guerrero to stand. Big shoulder block off the ropes from Moxley. Pulling out some new moves himself, trying to win some gold. Able to fight his way out of the corner. Guerrero desperate here, nice drop toe under the chair. Moxley counters with another DDT. The head and neck of Guerrero gotta be in dire straits. Moxley has targeted it early and often. Now clothesline sends Moxley back to the chair. Now Guerrero's starting to feel it a bit. Hang on. Countering the paradigm shift. It's the champion going up top. Big frog splash, but he's too close to the ropes. Scoop and a slam sends Moxley to the floor. Oh, a roll-up from Guerrero. That's not going to do anything out there. That suplex counter might help, though. Another roll-up. No, Eddie, no. Guerrero obviously dazed. It is not a false count anywhere match, nor can you get disqualified on the floor. Trick won't work unless you're in the middle of the ring, Eddie. Tried to distract Moxley so he could grab another chair, but it did not work. So you can see Guerrero having to hurry back to the center of the ring. Both men catching their breath. Bit of a reset here at the 14-minute mark. And away we go. Slugging it out now with the Hall of Fame Championship on the line. Big discus lariat from Moxley. Another counter to the paradigm shift from Eddie. Rake of the eyes by the champ. Oh, nice release German. Dragging Moxley away from the ropes. Thought Eddie may be thinking frog splash, but he didn't have time. Moxley able to counter a suplex. Nicely done. Off the ropes he's sent. Tilt-a-whirl into the backbreaker, and Eddie goes up. Frog splash. 1, 2, 3. Eddie Guerrero retains. What resilience from the champion. And Eddie Guerrero outlasts Jon Moxley. Alrighty. Moxley was looking to end that early, and somehow, some way, Eddie Guerrero hanging in there and hanging in there. Ooh, uh-oh. Hit the wrong button. Hang on, hang on. My poor text file. No. There we go. All is not lost. All is not lost. Okay, Eddie defeated Jon Moxley. 94%. Hot diggity dang. Good stuff. All right, right back in the good graces of the fans. For sure. Just in time for your main event. First off, title defense. Frog splash leading to pinfall. Overwrite that data. And away we go with our final contest of the September show here. And then we're going to set up the tournament as we have Becky Lynch defending the GWA Junior Championship against the winner of the #1 Contenders tournament, Dragon Rojo Jr. Yaka. Boop-a-doo. Down to the ring we go. As always, the senior official, Senor Sasquatch, calls for the whistle, and we are underway. Becky Lynch in white, your champion. Dragon Rojo Jr., the masked individual, in maroon and gold. Your challenger, Dragon Rojo Jr., looking to become the first 3-time junior heavyweight champion. Becky Lynch looking to extend her first ever reign. In this, her first defense of the title. Has had a few attempts, a few title shots in her history, but Becky Lynch able to capitalize against Mike Bailey. Let me see if I got that right. Yes, against Mike Bailey in July of this wrestling fantasy calendar year. And here we are in September. She's putting the belt on the line against the tournament winner, Dragon Rojo Jr., who, as we said, no stranger to the gold. If he wins tonight, he will be a 3-time and the only 3-time GWA Junior Champion in this company's history. Nice sliding drop kick there by Dragon Rojo Jr., member of Shawn Michaels' Heartbreakers, possibly involved in next month's Trios Tournament of Terror. We know that stable is going to be submitting a team, as all stables usually do, into that tournament. Going over the participants at the conclusion of this show, as well as revealing the rule set that we will be adhering to, which once again is going to be decided on, or has been decided upon, by members of the GWA brass in consultation with the defending champions, those being Steve Austin, William Regal, and Ilya Dragunov. So come to a consensus what the rules should be. Hopefully in future years we can open things up to the public. Perhaps we can have some sort of poll or some sort of Cyber Sunday type event. Fun if we could ever work that out. Certainly not opposed to all the audience interaction stuff, but if I might be frank, I don't have much of a regular audience that would participate as far as I'm aware, but that's on me. Oh. Rojo sending Becky out to the apron. Not the apron, I meant to say the rampway. The unique feature of this arena here in Mexico. Now slowing things down. Fully aware of Becky Lynch's submission background and propensity for use. Dragon Rojo Jr. there, smartly trying to take the legs out from underneath Becky Lynch, who will of course be looking to lock in the disarm her or hit that manhandle slam of hers to retain her title. Dragon Rojo Jr. meanwhile will be looking to hit that exact maneuver. The guillotine leg drop off the top, knocking Becky Lynch unconscious. And we have a new champion just like that! A shocker to say the least, and the worst reviewed main event in the history of the company. Controversy abounds. What a KO in the main event. Oh dear. We might have another injury on our hands, as Dragon Rojo Jr. in a stinker, and obviously because it was so early, criticaling Becky Lynch with his finishing maneuver. Oh my goodness me. All right, let me just quickly, becoming the 12th champion in the company's history. Okay, hang on. Oh my. Oh my, indeed. Okay, let's put Dragon Rojo. Back on top in the junior division, but what a way to win the title. Face down to the canvas, knocked unconscious by a leg drop to the back of the head. And just like that, new champion crowned. The hot potato of the junior championship continues as Dragon Rojo Jr. there, knocking off Becky Lynch. And I'm so glad we had such goodwill built up across the rest of the card, because we had two very costly KOs, none more so than the one in the main event here. Oof, bit of a head scratcher in that main, but overall a satisfying show here in the halls of the GWA and in our history and stuff. My oh my. So Dragon Rojo Jr., the new junior champion here in our company. The only belt that changed hands, and change hands it did. Not bad, not bad. I'm expecting to lose money, but we'll see. Oh, Van Dam is the new All Japan Triple Crown holder. That's awesome. Rich Swann and Matt Cardona are the Impact Tag Team Champs. That's cool. Nick Gage is the GCW Champion. Good for Nick Gage. That sounds good. Oh, we made a little bit of cash on that. NXT is scheduled a singles tournament for this month. AAA is doing a singles tournament this month. I know it says otherwise, but the translation's a little wonky. All right, here we are in October. Okay, so one of our scouts didn't find anybody. Niho from Noah wants to come in. I'm sorry, but it's Tournament of Terror time. So we're gonna have to deny them that. Let's do a quick save here. So nobody was injured as far as I can tell. Let me take a look though at our wrestler stats. Becky Lynch was criticaled and they're fine. Condition good. Perfectly green. And Yohei was the other big critical. Their tum-tum hurts real bad. So we're gonna give them, they're gonna get the month off, I think. I don't think they're involved in the Trios Tournament of Terror, as far as I can, yeah. Checking my notes here, yeah, they're not in it. So, we're gonna give them, obviously, the month off. Let's see how they feel in November. Okay. Oof, hopefully they're okay. We also have some of our friends to check out. Let me bring this up real quick. As you can see the results for the show that we just put on. And then we have some friends here. We're gonna check the promotions, what they did with our friends, if anything, and then we are going to salary bumps, the salary bumps we need to bump, and then I'm going to book the tournament. I got to hire somebody, as you can see right here. I got to hire somebody, but I'm not saying whom. I already have a sort of a plan in place, and we'll keep those on the DL as long as I can. And yeah, all right. So let's just see what WWE did with Hangman, if anything. Let me get this out of the way. Boink. Go over to promotion. No, not. Is it promotion stats? Yeah. So WWE, what did you do with my friend Hangman Adam Page? I'm just looking for my dudes, and they, unless they was on the trios match in the main event, they did not use them. All right. So that was a waste. So back up to the notepad. Whoa. Oh, wrong. Okay. I wasn't actually selected the notepad. There we go. We sent Mad Paulie to New Japan Pro Wrestling. So let's take a look at what they did with him. Oh, Shingo Takagi, Mad Paulie. Mad Paulie getting the win and 97%. Mad Paulie putting on a banger with Shingo Takagi. Nice. Like to see that. Okay. Bring up our notepad once more. We sent Buddy Murphy to AEW. Let's go check out what they did with Buddy Murphy. Just trying to do a quick check. Nothing. Didn't use them. All right. They did not use Buddy Murphy. Boop. And then we sent Darby Allen to NXT. Let's go check that. What'd you do with Darby, y'all? Anything? Didn't use him. Just wanted him in the locker room, I guess. All right. That's like half so far. That's actually more than half. I think they only used like 2 people so far. We sent Will Hobbs to Pro Wrestling Noah, which I think is a real good fit. Let's go down to Pro Wrestling Noah and see what they did. Come on, Will Hobbs. Somewhere. Anywhere. In the show. Didn't use him. Brutal. Brutal. Look, if people get invited to my promotion, I use them. Oink. You had to agree. You had to agree to get him there in the first place. Like, they had to say yes that they wanted him, and then they don't do anything with him. Let's see what the Impact Wrestling did with Bobby Lashley. Oh, they had a tag team tournament of which they were not a part. Okay. You got it. But Rich Swann and Matt Cardona, as you can see there, won the Impact Tag Team Championships. Okie dokie. Whoa, that's fun. All right. All right. So I can get rid of that. Save this. I have one person I need to hire. So it says before I start the tournament. So let me first do our personal advice. Check our trust stuff. Adam Page wants some more moolah. Try to get this done as fast as possible. What's up, Adam? Give you a little babootski. There you go. Let's go to is it records and help, personal advice. Drew wants some more money, so we'll get some more money for Drew. There we go, a little pay bump for Drew. Anybody else? Dragon Rojo Jr. After stomping Becky Lynch out in the main event, apparently wants another pay bump. See what happens here. Where are you at? Oh, you're in a stable, so you're up here. There we go, Dragon Rojo Jr. There you go, a little pay bump for you. Save every time. Save every time. Personal advice. Looks like everybody's okay. Okay, let's check out how do we do merch-wise? Everything but the action figures. I get it. They're the highest price, or the second highest price ticket item. It's also real tough to move masks, but we cleared them out. We had an inventory of masks that were like 4 months old, but we got rid of them with that show in Mexico. Perfect. Action figures we can keep taking with us. They aren't so hot. We misread the market. That's okay. We're returning to America for this show, so I think we'll be okay. Okay, so I'm not worried about that yet. Let me check my broadcast contract. I have 2 months left. So that means that this Trios Tournament of Terror is under this broadcast deal. So 50% or more for the whole show, and we get $500,000 a month. So that will cover the October show and the November show, and then our new deal kicking in where we have satellite coverage worldwide for 2 years begins with the December show. So I got to go all out for the last show of this year. So we're starting to get $1 million a month, and we have a 70 or higher, which we have had our entire career. So I think we're okay. All right. Training center maintenance. Let's do that real quick. I'm also going to hit this one thing that I can upgrade, just to upgrade it. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. We're going to wait till we have about 30 million in the bank before we start worrying about expanding the gym. We haven't even bumped up against the upper limit on our roster at the moment, so you don't need to worry about that yet. Let's just increase that judo coach. There we go. Slightly increases defense and increases durability. Okay, so we did one of those. We upgraded and we did all our maintenance. Now, I need to hire somebody real quick, and I'll tell you about it in a sec. Well, I won't, you'll see them eventually, but here's what we're gonna do instead. Whilst I hire somebody really quick, let me put up this screen. Nope, let me put up this screen. There we go. So coming out of me hiring somebody off screen real quick, I'm going to go over the Trios Tourney rules, and then we're going to go over the participants in the Trios Tourney as I add them to the show. I mean, I can go over the participants and then we'll just book the thing real quick. Okay, don't mind me. I'm just doing my thing. Don't mind me. Hiring someone possibly. Don't mind me. I'm just hiring somebody. Maybe. How about that? So far, so good. Okay. There we go. Don't mind that. Okay. I don't know if I can keep this a secret. I'll do my best. I have to pick the roster in a certain order for order for this to work properly from here on out. Before I ruin myself. All right, I actually get back to the GWA screen here and start booking this event. Okay, tournament. Oh, I can't book it yet because we haven't gone over what the rules might be. Hang on. My bad. Okay, so let's get back into this screen right here where we're about to reveal what the Trios tournament rules are. Now, as we said, these are determined by the GWA brass in conjunction with the defending champions, in this case, Steve Austin William Regal and Ilya Dragunov. And I've been told by our graphics department we have a graphic that I can just display that will display the rules, but I'm seeing them for the first time as you are, so let's read them together. Now, tonight's Trios Tournament of Terror is going to be operating under the following rule set. I don't have a drum roll sound effect, but... Okay. Exploding barbed wire replacing the ropes. 1 weapon each, so 6 weapons inside the ring. Ring explodes after 30 minutes. Tap out only. So this is a tournament of I Quit death matches. Trios I Quit death matches. So you must incapacitate one of your opponents to the point where they quit and cannot be saved by their partners. And you have 30 minutes to do it before the ring explodes. All right, we have established the rule set for tonight's Trios Tournament of Terror. Let's take a look at who we're going to be seeing. And now these rules, as we said, were established in conjunction with the defending champions here, Team Austin, Steve Austin, William Regal, and Ilya Dragunov. In the first round of competition, they are going to be facing Team Heat Business with Captain Eddie Guerrero, who we just saw in that Hall of Fame championship match, Bobby Lashley, and Buddy Murphy. An interesting pickup there. I don't know how Mad Polly quite feels about that. Mind you, he was away last month in Pro Wrestling Noah, so perhaps these negotiations happened without his knowledge. And we're also going to see in the first round, Team Lone Wolf, CM Punk, Randy Orton, and Jon Moxley go trio a trio versus Team Heartbreakers, represented by leader Shawn Michaels, Flamita, and the new junior champion Dragon Rojo Jr., fresh off that KO victory of Becky Lynch in the main event of last month's show. Also in the first round, we're going to see Team Standard. The Standard being represented here by Will Hobbs, Brodie Lee, and Mike Bailey. And their first round opponents, Team Space Cowboy, Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page, and Chris Statlander. And in our final first round matchup, we are going to see Team Deadrums, Drew McIntyre, Raven, and The Undertaker. Sort of a mashup of the Dead Man and Doldrums for the team name here. And backstage rumors persist that should Drew McIntyre and Raven be successful in helping The Undertaker win the Trios tournament and finally get a world title shot, The Undertaker will join the Doldrums. Those are the rumors swirling throughout the locker room, and the team here, known as Team Deadrums, will be facing in the final first round matchup the last team entered into the Trios Tournament of Terror, representing the Squared Circle K. We have Kazuchika Okada, Keith Lee, and Kairi Sane. And remember, as I get back now to the GWA screen so we can actually put this show together and put it on the air for y'all, this is 30 minutes until the ring explodes, and you have to make someone on the opposing team.
If you have a healthy attitude.
Oh, what's going on, Rocco? I didn't want to interrupt that. You have 30 minutes to make somebody on the opposing team submit or before the ring explodes. I don't know what's going to happen afterwards. Obviously, the match is intended to continue, but that depends on how many wrestlers remain conscious after the 30-minute mark and the explosions. So, standard, not a standard tournament at all. This is it is a barbed wire deathmatch tournament. Let me go down to the rule set first. 6-man tag, of course. It is a trios tourney for the Trios Championship, as it is each and every year. We are not going to Mexico. We are going to the American Urban 65,000-seater arena. We already have 2,000 people there, and we haven't announced anything, which is great to see. Let's go ahead and make sure the rule set is what we want. It is give up only, and I'll let you know now that I have futzed with, in some cases, the moveset and CPU logic, in some cases, just the CPU logic of 2 out of the 3 members of every single one of these teams, if I needed to ensure that if they didn't have an obvious submission in their arsenal that you knew about, to ensure that the CPU logic at critical times will attempt a submission as opposed to just battling and battling and battling. So I don't anticipate we'll see too many 30-minute explosions, but that added layer of tension is there for a reason, for sure. So it is an unlimited time match, but the ring's going to blow up. Oh no, Rocco, don't worry about it. No, I appreciate you using the video drops. So 1 weapon per person. Well, obviously we broadcast everything on 1.25 speed. It's got to be tornado. There's no DQ count whatsoever, which also means that moves in your arsenal that would normally be a DQ, like in Steve Austin's case, when he takes a steel chair and repeatedly jams you in the sternum, that is a DQ in normal matches. In this tournament, that is a submission move where it's you versus referee stoppage essentially, or you give up and you don't want to be hit with a chair anymore. So it's the first to submit. It's essentially a tournament of the match beyond of a War Games over and over again, you know what I mean? But at the 30-minute mark, kaboom. All right, let's get down to, there's no entrances. We have configured that. We've put together the fact that it's a title match. Let's go ahead. Oh, Austin team has to be there because they're defending the belts. Perfect. Yeah, that is usually the condition of entry. So their first round opponents, as we mentioned, the Heat Business, consisting of, let me see if I can do this easily. Yeah. Eddie, current Hall of Fame champion. Bobby Lashley, also in black, gold, and white. Bobby Lashley. And over on this side of things, for tonight at least, Buddy Murphy, also in surprisingly matching gear. That's strange. Almost as though that were planned out in advance. Now they're gotta just put these together really quick. There's gonna be Team Lone Wolf of CM Punk going long boys tonight. In there with John Moxley, who is going short boys tonight. And Randy Orton, who doesn't own anything but trunks. Let's just see here. Ugh! It's either with hair or without. Oh, his facial hair changes every time. Let's give him the white trunks this time, just for funsies. So that's Team Lone Wolf. Heavily dripping with irony is the name of that sucker. Taking on the Heartbreakers. So this is where, okay, oh, okay, Heartbreakers. Shawn Michaels is going to be involved. They are going to war, so everyone's going to wear their camo tonight, or closest to it. And I believe he's teaming up with Dragon Rojo Jr., who does not have a camo gear. And Flamita, who definitely does. So let's put him in that. And there we go. Okay, so there's Team Lone Wolf versus the Heartbreakers. I'll just set up the second half of the bracket here. As the standard is about to be represented, let's go back one, by everybody that's not Bret Hart. So let's get Brodie Lee involved. Let's get Brodie Lee, who again was on that tear, but stopped short by CM Punk. Perhaps some future revenge in mind for Brodie Lee against Punk. Can only settle a score if both of those teams make it to the finals of this tournament, or at least can settle it this month if both of them make it to the finals of this tournament. But let's see what else we got. Okay, Team Space Cowboy. Let's get back into our regular roster dump here. Kenny Omega from the heel side of things. In lime green tonight. In there with a couple of faces. Hangman Adam Page. Let's go with the default. And Chris Statlander. We're also going to go with default gear on. There we are. Team Space Cowboy. Brought in about 10,000 fans. And then the final match of round one, the Dead Drums. Starting out with Raven. Drew McIntyre, and The Undertaker. The Undertaker. There we go. Almost there. This next team has to draw 14,000 and we're not going to make it. And they're taking on the Squared Circle K, one of the first stables here. There we go. Everybody that's not Muto is going to be involved in this one. Keith Lee, who just had an impressive debut for AEW last night on their Dynamite program. Kairi Sane. Ooh, everyone dressed in dark for this one. And Kazuchika Okada. Do you also have dark shorts? Close enough. Oh, we didn't quite sell it out, huh? Not bad to try to get 65,000 people into an arena for a tournament like this in the first place. What's the biggest we can do over here? 30,000 for 20 bucks? Easy. Well, if I can do Urban then and almost fill out the arena for 20 bucks, I'll just do that. I'm fine with about 63. You know, I'm not going down, eating shies. Just okay, so that's it. We are set. We are ready to go. Let me just double check the match style and rules here. Give up only, 30-minute explosion, Everybody gets a weapon. Everybody gets a weapon. Everybody gets a weapon in the cage match. Not a cage match. It's a barbed wire rope. Exploding barbed wire rope match. Sasquatch is going to be our referee as per usual. We did it. All right. Save this. Now the only... well, I got to do a couple things. I got to make merchandise and then we can broadcast. And I need to send some people out. I was hoping to send Dawkins and Montez Ford both to Big Japan. So I'm going to take 3 swings at this and see if I can do it quickly. So, not very popular. That's fine. They have Big Japan's tag belt, though. All right, so that one worked. Halfway there. Angelo Dawkins went. There's no point in sending him without Montez Ford, though, because the hope is they will put the tag belts on the line somewhere and drop them in this promotion. Here we go. Okay, so we sent the Street Profits off. That's the only thing I wanted to do this month, other than run the tournament. So that's all set. I've already hired the one of the people that I'm intent on hiring. Don't worry about who it is. We don't need to know until later. I'm not loaning anybody else out. Let me save again real quick. Go to management and produce some merchandise. Okay, we got about 65,000 people here, so let's do 10K shirts. Let's do 10K photo. Let's do 10K towels now. Oops, I don't know. DVDs, we'll do a limited run of 5. But we'll do 10 goods for the kiddos. We'll do a real tiny production of masks, and we'll do another 10 branded snacks. I think we can move all that. That's pretty well, you know, this stuff can last more than 1 month, so that's okay. I'm not expecting to blow all of this out, but I think we can move 20,000 goods and snacks. Just like stuff with the logo on it, stuff the kiddos would want. It's in the lower range, so here for like 20 bucks, 25 bucks maybe tops. Like 25 with tax, you can get like a snack with something or other for your kid, so on and so forth. All right, that's the plan anyway. That's all good. We're also getting $500,000 from our sponsorship contracts. These shows are like $1 million to put on now, but we can recoup most of that with our nice broadcast deal, sponsorship deal. You get about $1 million in total from those, and we'll get over $1 million because our new broadcast deal is kicking in next month. All right, I've only sent the 2 people to Big Japan. That's all I wanted to do, just to make sure that the Street Profits went to Big Japan, and fingers crossed that they make them defend the tag belts. And then the rest of it was just running the tournament. I've already set up the rules, and we are ready to proceed. Everyone works for us, so everyone should show up. I did merchandise. We're all good. I'll save it once we get here. Once we're ready for round 1 of the Trios Tournament of Terror. Save that real quick. Double check the match rules. Absolutely. Submission only. The ring's going to blow up after 30 minutes. Everybody gets a weapon. Last team standing is going to be your Trios champions. They're going to split 666,000 fake dollars, and they are going to each get a title shot of their choosing in the next calendar year. Let us get underway the 3rd annual Trios Tournament of Terror. Senior official Mr. Bigfoot, always in charge of the action, ringing the bell, and we are underway in this one. You see Austin in his street clothes, tagging with Ilya Dragunov. In the red trunks, William Regal there. You see with the longer brown hair and the black and gold. Somewhat matching Regal's entire opposition here. Bobby Lashley, Buddy Murphy, Eddie Guerrero. Be a lot of action in this one. I'm gonna do my best to stay along with it. I can't call everything that they do to one another. Just know that there's gonna be a lot of violence headed your way this evening. We have 4 first-round matches, 2 semifinals, and a final headed your way. That's 7 death matches, 7 exploding ring, submission-only death matches. And to that end, oh there, Bobby Lashley the first to taste the cage. Excuse me, taste the explosive. I don't know why I keep saying cage. Taste the explosions there, the barbed wire. The ring's gonna blow up. I don't know why I associate that with the cage match and not the barbed wire that I see clearly on all four sides of the ring. Oh, now Murphy sent into what I will loosely call the ropes there, having been replaced with explosive barbed wire. You can see how tightly it's strung up. Buckets of explosions surrounding all four sides of the ring. There is no escape here. First person to submit, their team is eliminated. The surviving team moves on. And at the 30-minute mark, kaboom. Each of these teams are going to be doing everything in their power to avoid that dreaded countdown, as we have just passed 5 minutes in this first match of the first round. There's going to be a lot going on in this one. Let's talk about the submission game of both of these squads. Steve Austin has been using the Austin Crab as of late to finish off his opponents, in addition to that Stone Cold Stunner, so he has a submission option. William Regal, of course, known for his Regal Stretch. I don't know of the submission prowess of a Buddy Murphy, or of an Ilya Dragunov for that matter, but I know for a fact that Eddie Guerrero is known for his lasso from El Paso, and Bobby Lashley, known for that Hurt Lock, his version of the Full Nelson. As you can see, Austin with the Austin Crab there, trying to secure a quick submission victory here. Submissions don't really become effective until about the 20-minute mark in a regular trios contest, or a regular team match contest, I should say. So it'll be interesting to see how that's accelerated in the non-stop violent arena that is this exploding barbed wire ring. As you can see, the toll it's already taking on Bobby Lashley, and now Eddie Guerrero, 2/3 of Heat business busted wide open in this one, to the advantage of Team Austin now. The longer you can go with your opponents leaking blood whilst you are not as grievously wounded, literally the life flowing out of your opponent's bodies, to be more beneficial, especially as we ramp up the submission attempts as these matches go on. Also very happily getting the Trios Tournament of Terror, at least this one, out of the way before we start a new broadcast contract where we have to get a 70 overall or higher for the show. Always a gamble booking these deathmatch tourneys in a strong style promotion, exactly what sort of matches you're going to get. Definitely hard hitting to this point. Oh, now William Regal busted open on Team Austin's side as we pass the 10-minute mark here. The blood beginning to flow freely from both squads. Hang on, Austin's got the Austin Crab on Buddy Murphy. Lashley's trying to save him, but he can't. Eventually, Buddy Murphy able to power out, and we fight on. As I said, this is just me speaking as Rad, the guy controlling the video game. I tweaked the movesets or CPU logic where I needed to make sure that they had a submission if they didn't have one, or attempted a submission at critical moments if they already had one in their arsenal. So hopefully, for the sake of the competitors, we don't have too many ring explosions. Mind you, they might be fun to see on TV. Big double suplex there to Lashley. And then a meaty powerbomb by Dragunov. Buddy Murphy doing his best to fight off Team Austin. But it looks to me that they have a bit of an advantage in this one, as all three members of the Heat business now busted wide open, and only Regal suffering on the side of Team Austin. I know it's a kind of a morbid thing to keep track of, but it does play a significant factor in the fortitude of a competitor, especially in a submission-based tournament, as you cannot be stopped for blood loss, but the referee will stop the match if they know that you can no longer continue. I mean, I guess technically that's a stoppage for blood loss, but you have to have a hold applied. They're not just going to stop it for blood loss, without you having just suffered a massive impact of some sort or being trapped in a hold. Anyway, all that to say, we're about halfway through this one. Just about hitting the 15-minute mark here. Oh, hang on. That could do it. Ilya Dragunov get in the face of Eddie Guerrero. I almost said Eddie Murphy because I looked at Buddy Murphy as I was talking about Eddie Guerrero. And that is it. Getting all up in his face and raining down blows on the already busted open face of Eddie Guerrero. And just like that, the defending champions, Austin, Regal, and Dragunov, advancing to the second round in a kind of match. Okay. Able to take care of Eddie, Lashley, and Buddy Murphy in no time at all. Is Austin and Regal, and Dragunov. Hang on, sorry. As you can tell, I'm doing text file updating. Updating the text file, putting the stuff in the rows. Oh, okay, so sweet. Still works. Do. Boop. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right, moving on. Save match. Save your tournament. Second first round matchup. Team Lone Wolf, Team Heartbreakers. Let's get down to the ring. Let's get down to the ring and see what happens. We've cleaned things up. We've refreshed the weaponry. Oop, let me get myself out of the way. Just in time for the start of this one. CM Punk, Randy Orton, and Jon Moxley. An immediate super kick pedigree combo by two of their opponents, Shawn Michaels and Dragon Rojo Jr. teaming up with Flamita. The three of them, 3/4 of the Heartbreakers. And I don't need to tell you what sort of submissions might, well, I will tell you what sort of submissions might be on the line here. CM Punk, of course, has that Anaconda Vice. You just saw him use a sleeper. Jon Moxley has a choke of his own, and Randy Orton, a master of the front face lock, which could end the match at any time. On the other side of things, Shawn Michaels, I believe, has a figure 4 in his arsenal. Dragon Rojo Jr. has a Cobra twist he makes use of, and I do not believe Flamita has a submission maneuver. But he's at least here to help. As CM Punk is busted open early in this one. In the opening moments here, the first casualty of the exploding barbed wire surrounding the ring here. CM Punk busted open early. Now that did play into the earlier contest where all three members of the Heat Business were busted open. Dragunov taking advantage of that fact as he rained down blows on Guerrero, forcing Guerrero to submit. Could not defend himself, the referee determined, essentially knocking out the Hall of Fame champion. As we now see Randy Orton employing those famous face locks of his. Normally a detriment, here a huge boon to anyone teaming up with the Viper. In this, oh, Koji clutched there out of Punk. Various submissions being used by the Second City Saint. And now Flamita trying to turn the table with the knee bar. A lot of submission attempts in the early going. Dragon Rojo Jr. over there with Shawn Michaels trying to isolate Jon Moxley. Rojo Jr. Dragon Rojo here, flying high. Pardon the turn of phrase. After coming off the top rope and knocking Becky Lynch out in their title fight. In record time, the shortest and least enjoyed title match in probably the history of the GWA. Claiming the GWA Junior title for the third time. And now another super kick pedigree here, this time to Randy Orton. Looks like Punk and Shawn Michaels. One member of each team busted open here. Randy back to the headlocks. You have to keep a constant eye on Randall. As this match wears on, he could end it at any time with stuff like, hang on, go to sleep by Punk, but it's going to do him no good. Against Flamita, you cannot pin your opponent. It is give up only as Flamita is able to throw Punk back into the ropes. RKO to HBK, and Flamita grabbing a hold. Smart coaching by Shawn Michaels, who's clearly instructed the Heartbreakers. Please employ whatever submissions you know. You never know when it'll come in handy in a match like this. Moxley now whipped into the ropes and busted wide open. Flamita now, you can see some blood coming out from under the mask there. Only Orton and Dragon Rojo Jr. unscathed. These matches certainly take their toll as we're about to press toward the 10-minute mark here. And now a Boston Crab out of Punk. That's broken up right away. Roll up by HBK. That's not going to do him any good. Another RKO by Orton. Hang on, Punk. Punk in that armbar, able to fight its way free as Randy Orton's busted open against the barbed wire across the ring from him. Now the only one not bleeding is Dragon Rojo Jr., who just got spiked on his head. Violence abounds here. All of it for naught until you lock your opponent in an unescapable submission hold and they have no choice but to surrender. John Moxley with a discus lariat. Meanwhile, Shawn Michaels caught in a 3D there. Cobra twist to Randy Orton. Dragon Rojo Jr. looking for the win. Randy with a headlock, face lock, whatever you want to call it. Head and face. So I guess you can't lock the face without the head, right? Kind of attached. Koji clutch from Punk to Dragon Rojo Jr. at the 12.5-minute mark, and that will do it. Mercifully, I was worried about this, but mercifully, these first-round matches a little quicker than I was anticipating, and that's probably for the betterment of the health and safety of all of these competitors. But with that victory, Team Lone Wolf knocking off the Heartbreakers. That means Punk, Orton, and Moxley will be facing Austin, Regal, and Dragunov in one of your two semifinals. Hang on one second whilst I adjust and update my text file here. Okay. Boop, boop. 93. That's more like it. That's more like it. That had a lot better action in it overall then. As we are getting into the second half of the bracket here. As we're about to see... Oh, that's a differently... I was going to say that's not Okada's team yet, and it's not. It is the Standard, represented by Will Hobbs, Brodie Lee, and Mike Bailey, taking on Team Space Cowboy, that being Kenny Omega, Adam Page, and Chris Statlander. Let's go ahead and save one more time and get down to the ring. Maybe I did too good a job of making sure they had submissions available. No, that's not true. I didn't really tweet. Like, if I knew they had available submissions, I didn't really do much other than maybe adjust the CPU logic by, like, a maximum of 3%, you know, just give them a little chance where if their opponent's in dire straits, they might lock on a submission instead of, you know, picking them up or going for a pin or whatever else. That's all we need. As we are well underway here. Keith Lee, Kazuchika Okada, and Kairi Sane representing the Squared Circle K, leader Keiji Muto resting after successfully defending the Legends title. It's Kenny Omega. Wait a minute. It's doing the wrong match, isn't it? Yeah, it's doing the wrong match. It's doing, where did Hobbs, Brodie, and Bailey go? It's doing Drew, Raven, and Taker against Okada, Lee, and Sane instead. So it's doing Squared Circle K against the Dead Drums. My apologies. I don't know why it didn't do the other, maybe I was selecting it somehow. That's all right. We'll get that other first-round match after this one. Little change in the format. Caught me off guard. We're right back to it. I'm like, wait a minute. Where are the people I was just talking about? These are different folk. A lot of folk dressed in black in this one. Remember the internet and locker room rumor that Undertaker will join the Doldrums if he, Raven, and Drew McIntyre are successful in this tournament. This is a different configuration of the Squared Circle K that won the event in its first year. Kairi Sane here replacing Keiji Muto. But Okada and Lee, no strangers to being champions of the Trios Tournament of Terror. In fact, it was a huge win. Keith Lee pinning The Undertaker to defeat him in that tournament. That led to Keith Lee cashing in his title shot opportunity against then Hall of Fame champion Undertaker shortly after winning the Trios Tournament of Terror, the inaugural Trios Tournament of Terror at that. And speaking of The Undertaker, he is the first unfortunate soul here, busted open as a result of the barbed wire surrounding the ring. As he is isolating Kairi Sane and about to plant her with a last ride powerbomb into the mat. Now we saw At last month's event, The Undertaker debuted a new submission, TCB2 he calls it, a seated version of Taking Care of Business, his Dragon Sleeper variation. Deadly. Even deadlier in a sort of camel clutch position from the dead man. Okada has a cravat variation he uses to some varying degrees of success. Kairi Sane, we've seen, has a number of submission options in her arsenal as well. Keith Lee, basically a power wrestler, and Raven, I don't know necessarily has. There's that cravat out of Okada. I don't know what submission faculties Raven has, but Okada definitely is okay. Keith Lee could go either way. Undertaker has that TCB2 as we discussed. Drew McIntyre, I believe, has Rings of Saturn variation or a crossface variation as one of his submission moves. Hang on, speaking of submission moves, Kairi Sane with the cross-legged Boston Crab. The Croston Crab. Providing various options for her team as well. As you know, she's got an armbar locked in on the dead man. No rope breaks in this contest, as there's technically no ropes. They have been replaced with barbed wire, as you can see. Okada. Oh, Big Bang Catastrophe by Drew McIntyre. Follows it up with a Future Shock DDT, but it is not a pinning match. You have to submit your opponent. That will wear down the big man Keith Lee, though. You can see him shaking off the cobwebs. Meanwhile, I was trying to say Okada isolating the leader of the Doldrums, Raven, in the opposite side of the ring. It's going to be a lot of action to call in these matches, and I'm going to do my best. Try to sort of pick up the overall thread of things. You can see a lot of blood being shed in this one. 2/3 of the Deadrums. In fact, all three members of the Deadrums busted wide open, and nobody on the side of the Squared Circle K. As you see a Raven effect there by Raven, that's not going to win the match for you, unfortunately. No pinfalls in this one. Submissions only as Kairi Sane eats a Russian leg sweep under the chair. Tombstone by the chokeslam by the Undertaker onto the chair as well. Okada suffering that. But we fight on here. There's that cravat to the Undertaker. Undertaker able to break free. Snap suplex by Okada, trying to press his advantage while he can. Nicely done. The fireman's carrying to the suplex there. Signature offense out of Okada. You might call that Red Rain. I'm not sure. I think I noticed it in his moveset. Have to double check. Keith Lee fending off all three opponents there. Avoids the triple beatdown. As we're approaching the 15-minute mark here. No first-round match has gone longer than 15. About halfway toward the 30-minute explosion countdown that everyone is working against. Oh, a little crisscross applesauce there between Taker and Drew. And more members of this fight are getting busted open hard way. I see the cross-legged Boston Crab on Drew McIntyre, applied by Kairi Sane. That almost did it. Hey, Kane, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for the woo. Absolutely. Kane mentioned that this tournament is like a Lance Archer promo. Everybody dies. You're not wrong. If they manage to survive to the 30-minute mark, the ring is going to blow up, and we'll see who's left standing, if anyone. Until then, you have to try to submit your opponent, and now the only one not bleeding in the match is Keith Lee. As you can see, Kairi Sane there with the cross-legged Boston Crab, the Croston Crab. On Raven, Keith Lee standing guard, but gets scooped up into that air raid crash by Drew. Oh, we passed the halfway mark, officially the longest match in the tournament so far. Big on Mongolian chop there by by Lee, trying to set up Raven. Was able to fend off that triple attack. That triple team. Ooh. Keith Lee stopped by the Undertaker once again. Rainmaker to the Undertaker by Okada. Who else but Kazuchika Okada looking for a second one. Undertaker able to fend it off. Raven, meanwhile, getting double teamed. Drew with a nice neck breaker on a Kairi Sane, landing on a chunk of chair. Keith Lee fights off a last ride. Oh my gosh. The hits coming fast and furious now as we're creeping up towards 20 minutes into this contest. Tombstone by Okada to The Undertaker. Cross-legged Boston Crab to Raven across the ring, and that will do it! The Deadrum's out in round one. No way The Undertaker is happy about this. He was so sure that this was his ticket to the finals. Finally, the quest for a world title shot from The Undertaker continues, and it won't happen thanks to winning the Trios Tournament of Terror as the Squared Circle K eliminates the Deadrums. Okay, Okada. Kairi Sane tapping out Raven, directly letting The Undertaker down in that one with the Croston Crab. All right, now we're gonna get the final match of round one. Yar. Let me get out of the way for it. Come on. There we go. The standard. Brodie Lee, Mike Bailey, and Will Hobbs against Team Space Cowboy. Chris Statlander, Kenny Omega, and Hangman Adam Page. Same rules apply as we've cleaned up the ring and refreshed the weapons. 30-minute countdown timer till the ring is gonna blow up. Until then, first person on a team to submit, surrender, or get knocked out loses the match for their team. Last team standing in this 8-team tournament is your Trios champions is going to split 666,000 Disney bucks. And we'll get each individual will get a title shot of their choosing, a championship of their choosing, be it a singles or a team belt, with the obvious exception of the Trios title, in the coming calendar year. A lot on the line each and every year. Rather deliberately written and extensive waiver each of the 24 competitors has to sign each and every time out for the Trios Tournament of Terror. As we see Mike Bailey, the Speedball, the former GWA Junior Heavyweight Champion, in there against the former Hall of Fame Champion Adam Page. Will Hobbs, Brodie Lee, Chris Statlander yet to taste gold. Kenny Omega, I believe, a former Hall of Fame champion in his own right, at least momentarily. I believe he was the one dethroned by The Undertaker that started The Undertaker's reign of terror with the Hall of Fame championship belt. But alas, I am not a historian of my own promotion, as much as one would assume I might ought be. The hazards of playing 5 games a week. The thievery and chicanery. It was really Bret Hart that took over the standard from within, I believe, if I remember how I booked it right. But you're not wrong. The name of the standard usurped from the Fire Pro GWA OGs. Nobody's picked them up, by the way. Like, they're still fairly high in like popularity and stuff, but they just sit there in the free agent market. Like, I'm the only guy hiring talent. It's wild. Oh, center of the ring, impressive power and poise on display from the powerhouse Will Hobbs on that delayed suplex to the Galaxy's greatest Chris Statlander. Hang on. Golden trigger at a Statlander and Omega. Definitely been keeping his tag team partners abreast of his favorite tag team maneuvers. Telling Hobbs he cannot escape, and you're not wrong. There is no exiting the barbed wire surrounded ring here, as now it looks like Adam Page bleeding buckets, just like his last match on Dynamite on Team Space Cowboy. Meanwhile, Team Standard, Will Hobbs is busted wide open. Yeah, that's fair. Not a lot of free agent activity. Wish there was a mod for that. You could tweak the activity of other promotions. Can you also run more than one? I haven't checked that yet. Can you have like more than one? If I had like 2 controllers, could I run more than one promotion a month? I haven't checked that either. Will Hobbs there fending off all 3 opponents. Not having any of the Space Cowboys in that. Remember, the goal here is to try to submit one of your 3 opponents, preferably before the 30-minute mark. We have not seen the timer reach 30 minutes thus far in the tournament, but the constant threat of explosion looms over the head of all 6 of these athletes. As now Statlander with a beefy powerbomb and speedball Mike Bailey, but there's no pinfalls in this one, so she's got to let go of the hold immediately. Likewise, whatever Brodie Lee was about to attempt there against Kenny Omega. Oh, Hangman missing wildly. Nice cross-legged brain buster there by Omega to the big man Brodie Lee. Oh, and a poison Rana by Omega. Action fast and furious in this one. A nice doctor bomb in response, but again, no pinfalls. Chris Statlander stealing the super kick out of the arsenal of Brodie Lee and then spiking Mike Bailey with the Big Bang Theory, but again, no pinfalls in this one. So Bailey's immediately able to retaliate with a double team powerbomb. Other side of the ring, Hangman Adam Page has got Will Hobbs in a Boston Crab, but Hobbs able to power out the thick, powerful legs of Hobbs, saving the matchup for his team there. As we were getting about halfway through this one, I just noticed a discus lariat, the hallmark of Brodie Lee. He just laid into Kenny Omega. Again, no pinfalls in this one. First person to quit, your team is gone. Nice butterfly double arm suplex there by Brodie Lee. As the carnage continues here. Omega and Brodie, the only two not bleeding. Oh, nice spin kick combo there by Mike Bailey. The speedball, the highly educated feet. Will Hobbs getting into the action with that jumping double insecurity. Oh, and now Kenny Omega. Fresh coat of paint. In terms of that blood loss. Hitting those ropes. Now just Brodie Lee, it seems, as we're halfway through this contest, or at least halfway to the countdown timer. The only man left unscathed. As we fight on here, scissor kick. Shout out to new GWA roster member Booker T with that one. Chris Statlander with a scissors kick to Will Hobbs. We'll see Booker T in action at next month's show. Potentially the end of year show as well when we start our new broadcast contract. $1 million a month. Worldwide satellite broadcasting. So we're going to try to pull out all the stops in that one. If I can manage it, I might try to do a 10-match card of all title matches for that big debut. We'll see if I can pull that off. Huge spinning Uranagi there from Omega to Mike Bailey. Signaling the end is Kenny trying to set Bailey up for something. I don't quite know what. Not sure if Kenny Omega uses any submissions. Perhaps the sharpshooter. He is Canadian after all. As we see another delayed suplex there by Hobbs. Statlander center of the ring. Oh, modified figure 4 ankle lock by Hangman Adam Page. Busting out a new submission of his own there. Haven't seen that at a Hangman before. Got to try new things here in this give-up-only tournament. A deathmatch I quit tournament, essentially, with the added tension of an exploding ring should the match go too long. Oh, I don't know how anyone survives a tournament like this. This is what it means to get a title shot here in the GWA. To split that money, the prestige of winning the coveted Trios Championship that is only defended annually in this tournament. Laying it all on the line here. 24 of GWA's finest each and every year. No exception in this matchup. As the final match of the first round rages on, and we are plus 20 minutes here. Submission attempts are extra deadly. In normal team outings, I imagine the same is true, especially for these death matches. Every submission attempt a serious one now, but keep your eye on the clock. This was originally scheduled to be the third and not the final match of the first round. Bit of a format change, but here we are presenting it in its entirety. Live and coming your way. We're not censoring any of this, despite all the blood lost by 5 of the 6 competitors here. You can see the canvas absorbs the blood and it makes the fight stronger. Following this, we're going to have the 2 semi-final and final matches, where we have medical staff on standby as soon as all 6 of these competitors, in fact, every competitor in the tournament, as soon as everyone gets behind the curtain, they are immediately checked out, patched up, and ready to go for the next round. Or to the showers if they're heading home. As we are creeping towards 25 minutes and Brodie Lee finally busted open. We are very close to a 5-minute countdown before everything goes boom. Double team powerbomb there to Hangman Adam Page. Poison Rana to Omega. Clicking R3 on Will Hobbs, the Deadeye there. Page able to block the Falcon Arrow. We are plus 25 minutes in the match. It means we are T-minus 5 minutes and counting until the ring explodes. One Winged Angel on Hobbs, but there's no pinfalls. So Omega's got to pick it back up. Sharpshooter by Omega. This could do it. That will do it. One Winged Angel into the sharpshooter by Omega at the 25-plus minute mark. What a war to close out the first round. But Team Space Cowboy is moving on. All right, then. Okie dokie. That was a beefy match. All right. All right. We got what we needed done. How do I normally format this? 1 second. I see. Pardon me as I update my text file that nobody can see. You'll see it afterwards. Boop. Okay. Do that there. That there. All right. All set. All right. Year 6 tournament of Trios Tournament of Terra's Trace. What a match to start to close out the first round. So we have our 2 semifinals set. To recap, Team Austin defeated Team Heat Business in the first round. That was Steve Austin, William Regal, and Ilya Dragunov. We're about to see in the semifinals beating Eddie Guerrero, Bobby Lashley, and Buddy Murphy. They're about to take on Team Lone Wolf. That is CM Punk, Randy Orton, and Jon Moxley, who made it to the semifinals defeating Team Heartbreakers, represented by Heartbreakers leader Shawn Michaels, Flamita, and Dragon Rojo Jr. Let's go to semifinal number 1 after I do another save real quick. And, yeah. Semifinal numero 1. The other semifinal and the final on the way. And we are underway in the first of 2 semifinal exploding ring death match. I quit matches, essentially. And Team Lone Wolf wasting no time. Quick 3D there by Randy Orton and CM Punk. Punk wearing the long boys tonight. It's a long boy kind of night here in the Trios Tournament of Terror Trace. You can see reigning GWA Heavyweight Champion Stone Cold Steve Austin, who I suppose if he wins the tournament would be able to choose his own contender, or perhaps give himself a title shot at another belt. In there in largely street clothes. Probably the smartest thing Austin did today in preparing for this matchup. Making sure he had a fresh stock of t-shirts and jean shorts at the ready to carry him through. No stranger are Austin, Regal, and Dragunov to this tourney, having won it last year. The only way to guarantee entry into the next year's tournament is to win the previous one, as you put the belt on the line, essentially. And what a trio Austin, Regal, and Dragunov made. One win away from at least a showing in the finals here, if not the and the chance to repeat as champions, which has not happened in the short history of the Tournament of Terror. Is now Moxley the first to taste the barbed wire and come away bloody. All 6 gentlemen facing down the barrel of the 30-minute ring explosion timer. You see a lot of submission attempts here in the early going. Randy Orton especially will be looking to lock on those face locks. Fast and furious, like only Randy Orton can. Quick standing 3D there to Austin. And then they triple demolition beatdown to William Regal. Axe, smash, and crush all in effect there from Teen Lone Wolf. Punk trying to set Austin up for the Anaconda Vice. Trying to tap out the GWA champion. There's a lot to be said if someone can tap out Austin in this tournament. A future title shot. Very likely if an individual can pull a feat like that off. I say that knowing full well that Austin will want personal revenge should that occur. He is still looking for an opponent for the December show. Our biggest event of the year as we start our new broadcast contract. Dang, what a Uranagi there by Dragunov. Jon Moxley has been on the receiving end of some vicious punishment here. Definitely the three members of Team Lone Wolf, he has endured the most, at least as far as my reckoning goes. Trying to fight his way back in. Lone Wolf doing a real good job working together here. Stunner! Huge stunner there to Punk by Austin. But unless he tries to lock in that Austin crab, it's all for naught. Meanwhile, Randy Orton with those face locks. Always deadly, always dangerous. The Viper. This plays right into the Apex Predator's normal strategy of constant wear down holds. If you're worn down after 20 minutes, you might just tap out. Just like Eddie Guerrero tapped out to those MMA shots to the face that Dragunov was now raining down on Moxley, but Moxley able to escape. If anything, you're not causing new wounds, you're reopening the wounds from hours ago in real time here. On someone like Jon Moxley, on any of these competitors, as most of them bled profusely in the previous round. The one night a year that the GWA goes hardcore to the extreme. The Trios Tournament of Terror in full effect here. Get it all out of your system one night a year. With shifting rule sets. This is the first year we've done the submission-only 30-minute countdown stip. That's provided some of the highest rated death matches we've seen so far. But that average is just gonna, it's all dependent upon the final match and how the overall rating goes. Big backhand chop there by Dragunov to Moxley. Regal coming to his aid. And that is it! Dragunov stuffs the takedown attempt from CM Punk and turns it into a Boston Crab. CM Punk out-wrestled MMA style and Ilya Dragunov sending Team Austin to the finals. They have a chance now to repeat as champions. That has never happened before in the history of the tournament. I mean, the tournament's only 3 years old, but that's crazy. If Austin, Regal, and Ilya have the chance to repeat as champs, they await the winners of your next semifinal contest. CM Punk there tapping out to the Boston Crab. Okay, overall 83. Again, I got to think 70 and higher. That's what I need from now on. I know 80 and higher means audience in-person satisfaction, but in order to satisfy my new satellite partner broadcasting these events, the average card rating for every one of my shows has to be has to be 70 or higher. So I make that cool $1 million a month. All right. We'll see how this other semifinal matchup goes. We are about to see Team Space Cowboy, who won the rights to be in the semifinal by defeating Will Hobbs, Brodie Lee, and Mike Bailey, representing the Standard. They're going to be going up against the Squared Circle K, not the combination that won the tournament in the first year, but an offshoot thereof, as it is this year represented by Okada, Keith Lee, and Kairi Sane, defeating Drew McIntyre, Raven, and The Undertaker in round one, and we have definitely gotten word that The Undertaker is less than pleased with his doldrum teammates, and he's using the air quotes backstage. So if you see a 6'8" undead man in MMA gloves walking around grumbling to himself doing air quotes, kindly stay out of his way, as he is inconsolable after losing in the first round once again. The quest for a world title shot for The Undertaker continues. As we get back to the semifinals here, it is the Space Cowboys and the Squared Circle K. Winning team to face the defending champions, Team Austin. Austin, Regal, and Dragunov in the final. If the Squared Circle make the finals for 2 out of the 3 years, the argument can be said that between them and Team Austin, it's going to be a battle of the most successful teams in the history of the tournament. Mind you, the makeshift team of the Space Cowboys can write their own narrative by unseating 2/3 of the former champs, and certainly one of the factions that has the honor of holding the belt. The only faction, I should say. Winning team goes on. Team Austin in the finals. Losing team into the back to tank to get the heels they so richly deserve. As we've reset both the ring, the weaponry, and patched up the wounds as best we can for this semifinal contest. That 30-minute countdown in effect. After 30 minutes, the ring is going to go boom. They have until that time to make one of your opponents submit. And you can see Okada grinding into Omega early here. No love lost between those two. Long storied feud in New Japan Pro Wrestling the past few years. Chris Statlander, first one busted open here in the early going. We're going to keep an eye on that as the match progresses. First casualty of the exploding barbed wire surrounding the ring here. As you can see, 3 barbed wire bats, a regular bat, half of a table, and a fluorescent light tube at the disposal of all 6 of these athletes. Oh, Statlander repeatedly into the ropes. As you can see, she's now covered in blood upon her head and shoulders there. Watch out for the knees and toes. Oh, once again, that's the 4th or 5th time now that Chris Statlander has mercilessly tasted that barbed wire. Oh, and now one for Adam Page. As we've just passed the 5-minute mark here. A lot on the line, shot in the finals. We're going to give, let's say there would be like an intermission in the actual show between the semis and finals. But, you know, we're going to get them patched up right away. Whomever wins, going to clean the ring up and then present the finals to you. And then we'll take a look how we did as a company and how the Street Profits did in Big Japan, because they were the only team or only talent of ours that we sent to some of our friendly promotions. Fingers crossed that they put the belts on the line and lost them. We'll see how that goes. And then we'll scoot on out of here. Yeah, it might be a little early tonight. Famous last words, but we'll see. Nice double team there on Hangman Adam Page, and now one for Kenny Omega. Statlander trying to defend her team's honor here. Able to do so partially there. So double team on Okada, and now a nice scissor kick to the Rainmaker. Keep checking to see. Looks like Okada also busted open. Oh! Kane Drago, thank you very much for gifting a sub to B. Thank you, Kane Drago, for the gifted sub. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support, buddy. Get out of the way. I shall let be known. Oh, she's on the Discord. You can shout her out if you want to. Let her know that you gifted her a sub. Very kind of you. As you see the cross-legged Boston Crab there, the Croston Crab. That's what advanced the Squared Circle K into the semifinals here. That vicious submission from Kyrie Sane, like legit. A Boston Crab doesn't really hurt. I'm going to just throw that out there, but you can sell it. Crossing your legs first and then doing a Boston Crab legit sounds like it would kill. Statlander now into the Big Bang Theory, but there are no pins. She's able to spike Kairi Sane on her head in revenge for that Croston Crab, as we see Okada leveling Omega with the Rainmaker. But again, no pins. So all it does is wear your opponent down for a future submission attempt. Past the 10-minute mark in this one, I don't see this thing lasting to the 20. That's just me. Too many explosive athletes with too many powerful and deadly maneuvers in this one, as you now see a figure four center of the ring to Keith Lee. Meanwhile, the Croston Crab on Omega. Both teams with chances to win there, but able to break free. Cross-legged brainbuster by Omega. Oh, Lee's partner sent across the ring, so all three members of the Space Cowboys can isolate him. Okada and Sane trying to get back in there. Big scissor kick to Okada. Double enziguri to Keith Lee. Chris Statler coming into her own here, finding that second or possibly third wind, as we're creeping up on 15 minutes in this one. Rainmaker to the Hangman. Sharpshooter to Keith Lee in the corner. Adam Page running defense, but Keith Lee able to power out. Excellent resilience there from the big man. I thought that was it. Adam Page standing vigil over Keith Lee, making sure he was locked in that submission as long as possible. Able to power his way out, and we fight on. Now Lee and Okada look to have Omega isolated. Meanwhile, Kairi Sane trying to fend off Hangman Adam Page and Chris Statlander. Spinning DDT to Omega. Or excuse me, spinning Tombstone to Omega. Sometimes the move names get jumbled up in my brain pan. Keith Lee now busted open. Cross-legged brainbuster to Okada. Space Cowboys looking for their first trip to the final. The stable of the Squared Circle K has won the tournament before, looking to get this trio back to the finals to prevent Team Austin from repeating as champs. I don't know what's about to happen there. Someone's about to steal somebody's move, but somebody broke it up. There was a lot going on in that area, as now the fight's is starting to spread around the ring again. Oh God, Spirit Bomb to Hangman Adam Page, but he's able to pop right back up since there's no pins. I'm trying not to pay attention to the clock. Just trying to see what's going on. I thought Statlander perhaps clutching at her knee there after that fluorescent light tube busted over her. Double enziguri by Okada, and Sane to Hangman Adam Page. Kairi doing her best to hang in there. Certainly the submission master amongst the Squared Circle K has the most varieties, probably in this matchup overall. Yeah, I would assume. Oh, the cravat! This is also meant to represent Red Ink, I think. Omega breaking out of that cravat from Kazuchika Okada as we pass the 20-minute mark in this one. Well, I stand corrected. No prize for anyone who bet against me there, saying it wouldn't last 20 minutes. But here we go. Under 10 minutes till the ring explodes if these people survive. And wouldn't it be a thing for the semifinal to end in a draw, guaranteeing Team Austin the win? One-winged angel by Kenny, but Keith Lee rolls through. He wasn't going to get a pin from it, but he was trying to put the big man down. Could not keep him there. Could Kenny Omega. And now Omega and Lee are trading blows. Likewise are Adam Page and Kazuchika Okada as Statlander and Sane watch on respectively. Two 2-on-1 situations here in the middle of this trios contest. Nice double arm suplex by Page as Kairi Sane shifts focus to Chris Statlander. Now a trio of singles matches occurring before your eyes as the clock creeps ever closer to the 30-minute mark. Big tombstone by Okada. Cross-legged brainbuster by Omega in reply for his comrade Adam Page. Sent into the ropes there by Keith Lee. Clicks R3 and drops. Okada with the Deadeye. Does Page, but he's immediately caught into the Red Rain there. The fireman's carrying to the suplex from the Rainmaker. Oh! Scoops him into an 0-3-16. As we're about 25 minutes gone in this one, T-minus 5 minutes till boom boom time. Scissor kick by Chris Statlander. Pan-kicking out Keith Lee with that electric chair is the Galaxy's greatest. Another Deadeye to Okada. Golden trigger to Kairi Sane. Finishers all over the place. Spirit bomb upcoming, but Statlander stops it. Oh, I'm back in the chat room. Am I losing stuff? No, we're still broadcasting. Okay. Under 4 minutes, about 3.5, until the ring explodes. Next submission attempt. Gotta win this thing. There it is, the cravat, but Okada stopped. Oh, Hangman Adam Page. Johnny on the spot there, saving the matchup for the Space Cowboys. Rainmaker. Rainmaker from Okada as a thank you for thwarting the submission attempt. Oh, and you see Hangman Adam Page rolling around, clutching his neck. One-winged angel on Keith Lee means nothing. Way under 2 minutes till boom time. Explosions abound as they're fighting near the ropes, or where the ropes should be. In their place, tightly wound, exploding barbed wire. Golden trigger to Okada. Oh, ripcord spear by Kairi Sane, and we've got a minute to go until the ring explodes. It's all coming down to this. Coming up on 30 seconds. It's a frenzy now, 20 seconds. You hear the alarm, 15, 10 seconds remaining. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everybody dies. The second semifinal ends in a draw. Team Austin by default win. 2-time trios champions. What a controversial finish! We didn't have a second finalist! What a finish to the Trios Tournament of Terror! As we're gonna have to play this thing out in front of 63, almost 64,000 strong. Let's say next match, but I'm gonna stay on screen because we know there isn't one. Wait, what's going on? Oh, a rematch! An immediate rematch because of the double DQ! The semifinal must continue! GWA officials determine the fight must rage on! Who knows what condition these athletes are in? We've reset the ring and the explosives and the weaponry, but as you can see, Statlander already busted back open. My God! Meanwhile, Team Austin laughing in their locker room. Whomever they face in the finals will have endured at least 30 minutes of this hell, including having the ring explode with them inside it. I thought perhaps a win by default for Team Austin, but quick thinking by GWA management here as they restart the second semifinal. We have to have a winner. Me and my big mouth talking about getting out early. This could go all night. It's also significantly going to bring down the overall rating of the card, because I feel like the second victory here is going to be fairly early and might not be that well received. We'll see. Uncharted territory here in the controversial Trios Tournament of Terror. A second controversial end to a GWA event in a row. The last being the main event of the last show, where Dragon Rojo Jr. knocked Becky Lynch out in record time, under 7 minutes, to claim the junior title. Controversial because of the injury that took place. Trying to see if we can book a rematch at the earliest convenience once Becky Lynch is healthy again. In this one, 30 minutes plus, these two teams have been battling. They have already survived one ring. Well, they didn't survive. They were already patched up from one ring explosion. You can see Keith Lee and Chris Statlander already busted open. Old wounds at this point. And we got to keep fighting. All for the opportunity to face Team Austin in the finals, which is, of course, another exploding ring I Quit match for whomever survives this one. This is take 2. We went the full 30 and no one lived. So now we're trying it again. And we're creeping up on the 10-minute mark already. What a litter. Oh, hang on! Kairi Sane! Kairi Sane's got it locked in on Hangman Adam Page! Behind the action! Into the Boston Crab now! Oh, just escaping his Hangman Adam Page. What determination by Kairi Sane. Back to the single leg this time! Page is all alone! Able to fight his way free. What a war. Almost totaling 40 minutes now between these two teams. Squared Circle K looking to get back to the promised land, the finals of the Trios Tournament of Terror, and we call it that for a reason. Space Cowboys, first time entry, looking for their first taste of gold or potential at it. Hang on! Rear naked choke! Locked in on Omega by Okada. At the 10-minute mark, but Hangman Adam Page able to break things up, sneaking through the defense of Keith Lee there. And the match continues, but you can see the submission attempts are getting more and more serious as this match drags on. 40 minutes plus now, and under 20 to go before a second explosion. You heard that right. Both of these teams have already endured one. Normally, the ring exploding ends a matchup, but it's settled nothing. Oh my gosh, Okada feeling it against Kenny Omega. Meanwhile, Statlander hitting finish after finish on Keith Lee. Rainmaker to Statlander as I finish my drink. Neckbreaker across the knee for Statlander as well. Working on the head and neck is Okada, perhaps softening her up for that cravat. Double underhook pile driver into the Croston Crab on Kenny Omega. Trying to send the Squared Circle K to the finals, but he busts out. That was almost it. What a combination from Lee and Sane there. That was insanely good. Big scissor kick up coming to Okada. Working on his head and neck. No rest for the weary. After this tournament, right back into regular GWA action will go most of these competitors, depending on how much of them survives this matchup. All the power moves in the world, impressive on display and good at wearing down your opponent, but will not get the job done, will not send your team to the finals. Certainly not that small package, Chris Statlander. Name of the game is to make someone on the other team quit. Axe smash and crush, wailing away on Kairi Sane there. Sane with the sliding forearm. Has been the most vigilant with her submission attempts. Has 1/3 of the squared circle K. Looking for her opportunity to once again attempt a cross-legged Boston Crab, the Croston Crab. Oh, spike with the Poison Rana by Omega. That'll slow down her efforts. Meanwhile, Statlander double powerbombed by Lee and Okada. Oh, sliding V-trigger into the face of Kairi Sane. As we're again creeping towards 20 minutes. Oh, an ankle lock by Hangman Adam Page. Had Okada in it for almost felt like an eternity there, but able to break free. That figure 4 ankle lock variation there by the Hangman. As you can see, most of the competitors in this matchup have a submission maneuver that they've either been working on or it was already available to them, already something favored in their arsenal. Just unable to put their opponents away in almost 50 minutes plus now of total in-ring time between these two teams. Here we go again, 20 plus minutes gone. 10 to go before the ring blows up again. Incoming Spirit Bomb. The only one not busted back open, Kenny Omega. The other 5 competitors really feeling it in this one as we are less than 10 minutes away from the second ring explosion. Was not anticipating seeing one. But it's settled nothing between these two teams. When we finally hit that 30-minute mark, will we see it twice in a row? Assisted choke slam. No one able to get a clear advantage for too long. Both of these teams working excellently against one another in a fury and scramble state. As the clock is continuing to tick here, less than 7.5 now. Until explosion numero dos. And we potentially restart this match for a 3rd time. Rainmaker to the Hangman. Red Rain to Statlander. Okada putting some moves together until he gets hit with the Dead Eye. Keith Lee fending off all 3 members of the Space Cowboys. Kairi Sane trying to pick her spot here. Oh, eats a scissor kick from Chris Statlander. Gets tripped up. Spinning tombstone to the Hangman. There it is! Kairi Sane's going for it! Got it locked in! Got it locked in!
Give up. Give up.
Rolling through it, Statlander to the crossface, and that will do it! Kairi Sane, after almost 55 minutes, sends the squared circle K back to the finals. Holy moly! What a match! And then another match. My word. The tenacity of Kairi Sane paying dividends. As Okada, Lee, and Sane face Stone Cold, Regal, and Ilya Dragunov coming up in your finals. Good gracious. That was awesome. All right, so this is actually a very interesting battle because as we mentioned earlier, Austin, Regal, and Ilya Dragunov are your defending champions. They won the second year's Trios Tournament of Terror, granting them entry into this year's, and have made it all the way through to the finals with a chance to defend the crown, get the money again, and earn those title shots, those guaranteed title shots. And as we know, Steve Austin is already the GWA World Champion. So does that mean he would choose a contender, or does that mean he would pursue another belt? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see how that plays out should his team win. And on the other side of things, our inaugural Trios champions were Kazuchika Okada, Keith Lee, and the leader of the Squared Circle K, Keiji Muto. Now, Muto is out this year, but replacement Kairi Sane was the one to guarantee the Squared Circle K their second trip to the finals of the Trios Tournament of Terror. So it is either a return to glory for the Squared Circle K or a successful Trios defense by Team Austin. Let's get down to the ring for the finals of the Trios Tournament of Terror. It's all come down to this. The main event of the evening. Mr. Bigfoot calling for the bell, and we are underway. Everybody's patched up. The ring has been repaired as best it can be. And we are off to the races on the finals in Trios Tournament of Terror Trace. A rule set established in part by the defending champions here in the finals, Team Austin. That is Stone Cold, William Regal, and Ilya Dragunov. Dragunov there in the red trunks, being isolated by Keith Lee and Kairi Sane. Austin and Regal, the old friends and teammates, momentarily over there by Okada. But as I say that, Austin joins Ilya Dragunov in fighting Sane and Keith Lee. Team Austin also has the advantage of having watched the Squared Circle K have to compete in almost 55 minutes worth of deathmatch activity just for the opportunity to get into this match. They've been sitting backstage, has Team Austin, rested, ready to go. I mean, the counter argument to that is that what better way than to have the adrenaline keep pumping and stay in fighting shape than to get out there right after your semifinal. As you can see, Ilya Dragunov of Team Austin, the first one busted open. That could play some significance as this match rolls on. As the Austin Crab applied by Steve Austin early to Kairi Sane there. That is Austin's submission of choice, his version of the Boston Crab, the Austin Crab. William Regal, of course, has the Regal stretch. I don't know that Ilya Dragunov has too many submissions in his arsenal, but he is here for brute force and striking ability, and he had that on display at least momentarily against Kairi Sane, the definite submission specialist amongst the teammates of the Squared Circle K. Okada, of course, has that cravat, and Keith Lee, as far as I understand it, no submission moves to speak of. So at least 2/3 of each squad has a, if not signature, a recognizable submission hold they can apply. As you now see a quick camel clutch there from William Regal. Of course, his Regal stretch, one of the several submission holds that wily old veteran knows. Oh, that oddly angled powerbomb to Okada, and Austin's rubbing it in now. Oh, thanks, yeah. I mean, Austin just started using that Boston Crab to win matches out of nowhere, so it just made sense to call it the Austin Crab. I don't know. He went for a few match stretch where he wouldn't even try the stunner. He would just wear him down and then tap him out. It's all led to this. The I Quit Exploding Ring Finals of the Trios Tournament of Terror Trace. You can see Austin's got plenty to say about it, calling for the microphone in the middle of the match. Thankfully, we're not in a cage this year, so it's easy to get it over the barbed wire ropes. Okada and Sane now, each tasting the barbed wire, the tautly wound barbed wire rope surrounding the ring that explodes upon contact. And as we have seen at least once in this tournament, once we hit that 30-minute mark, all of the remaining explosives around the ring will go off, just like Okada went off on that Rainmaker to Regal. I don't know that it has. I think he might have the $1 Million Dream, but it might not. This is fairly late stage Austin, I think. I feel like there's not much difference between peak and late stage Austin in terms of moveset, but he had all but abandoned the $1 Million Dream by the time he was like really in charge of things as Stone Cold. So I don't know that it's necessarily here, or if it is, he isn't like the CPU logic, like never chooses it as far as I can tell. And it naturally chooses the Austin Crab at times. So I just kind of left him alone. Because as I mentioned earlier, I adjusted CPU logic or moveset or both where I needed to for these edits to make sure that at least two members of each team had a decent submission. And there we see the Austin Crab once again in the finals for the championship, looking to retain his Austin. But Sane fights free. Nice backdrop suplex. You can see Austin isolating Kairi Sane, and now laying in those chair shots. Referee could stop this if Sane can't defend herself. Austin mercifully stops the assault. Wasn't quite getting the reaction out of the ref or Kairi Sane that he wanted, I suppose, was the bionic redneck there. And so we fight on in a no DQ match. What normally would have got him DQ'd, those repeated chair shots to the chest, turned into a submission maneuver in this I quit situation. Nice spinning tombstone there to Dragunov. Dragunov, Regal, Okada, Keith Lee, all bleeding profusely. And now an abdominal stretch on Austin by Kairi Sane. Looking to earn her team's victory in the finals. Kairi Sane now locking in an armbar. Solid fundamental wrestling there from Kairi Sane. Looking to pay dividends for the Squared Circle K here in the finals. Calm, cool, and collected as the Pirate Princess in there against Team Austin. Not intimidated in there against the champion of the world, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now wailing away on Okada. Oh my God, the blood loss coupled with those chair shots. Okada lucky to survive. And now under cravat that Dragunov breaks up. I saw a Regal Plex out of the corner of my eye, but there's no pinfall, so Kairi Sane just flipped over, back to her feet. Backdrop suplex onto the chair by Dragunov to Okada, pulled right back to his feet. No time to rest in this matchup. Rainmaker by Okada, but he's out of energy. Took all he had to put Willie Regal down, at least momentarily. Sucking wind is Okada. Right for the pickings. As Austin and Regal are focusing in, hang on. Neck breaker to Austin. Meanwhile, Dragunov suffering the wrath of Keith Lee and Kairi Sane. Trying to separate those two. Big powerbomb to Keith Lee by Dragunov. What strength from the former junior champ. You can see what it took out of him. Having to catch his breath after the maneuver. Austin missing with a chair. What's left of Okada throws him against the ropes. Kairi Sane back into the choke. Kairi Sane's got the choke. Austin into the Austin Crab. Kairi rolls through into a crab of her own. And that's it. Kairi Sane taps William Regal. Austin complaining to the ref that Okada was tapping out to the Austin Crab. Chaos reigns in the finals of the tournament. But I think the Squared Circle K won. Confirmed! Kairi Sane flipping that choke into the Boston Crab, tapping out William Regal. And the Squared Circle K, two-time trios champions. My word. 61? Really? After all that? That's honestly surprising that was only 61. I thought the crowd was into that. Your trios champions, Kairi Sane, Keith Lee, and Kazuchika Okada. Second win for Lee and Okada, first win for Kairi Sane. We await to see what title matches they choose for themselves. Oh, and we just squeaked by with an 81%, a successful tournament that the crowd actually enjoyed. Phew. Phew. Wowzers. Yeah, that should have been. I would accepted mid-80s, like low to mid-80s, but like that's fine. That's fine. We were over 80 in the finals, and that's all we wanted. Like the overall rating. Boom. New trios champs. So I'll have to update my text files later. They have title shots to think about. There is no bigger venue, but thank you for that. Cedric Alexander is a new WWE Junior Champion. Pagano is the AAA Heavyweight Champion, the AAA Mega Champion, I believe. PCO and Dak Draper are the ROH Tag Team Champs. Jimmy Kagetora is the Dragon Gate Junior Champ. Delilah Doom beat Nick Gage to become the GCW Champion. That means they either didn't use or the Street Profits successfully defended the Big Japan belts. We also made almost $2 million on that show. AAA is doing a tourney. That's nice. Wowzers, what a finish. 2 controversial but exciting finishes. I mean, a little controversial that Becky Lynch got destroyed. Star wrestler Yoshi joined Dragon Gate. I'll have to check to see which Yoshi that is. That might be Yoshi Tatsu. Black Taurus has been discovered. Dope. All right, Black Taurus has been found in Latin America. Definitely going to put them on the short list of people to potentially hire. Oh, Big Swole coming in from AEW, huh? Yeah, sure. I will grant all of these requests because I haven't booked all of November yet. I mean, it's a shorter show, but I haven't booked it yet, is all I'm saying. So I shall make some notes. Okay. Wowzers. Okada Lee Insane, huh? That was great. What a finish. What a tourney. All right. Yep, come on down. Hidaka from Noah. Okay. Come on down. All right, so we got some friends in. Let's just say this real quick. Let's do our management, do our training center maintenance first and foremost. I'm also going to hit that $300,000 expansion. Slowly but surely getting up to $30 million, and then we'll spend $9.5 million of it on gym expansion. I think that takes us to maybe 50 wrestlers total. I don't think I'm going to bump up against 50, but I might stop at like a 46. Because I'm going to have, like, if I fill my roster as is, I'll be at 45, and I don't want it to be an uneven number. That's just me. Even number of faces and heels. Can't help it. It's the way we do things. All right, so level up to the judo coach. Maxed out, so I don't need to worry about anything except for maintenance until I decide to upgrade my gym. Perfect. Now let's check our broadcast contract. One more month at the $500,000 level, and then we're going worldwide, baby, with the December show. So that will be next week. We're going to do our last show under the current contract for the November show, and then the December show, which we usually end with a 10-match super card because it's our end of the year show. We're going to go extra hard because it's for the $1 million. So we'll see how that goes. All right, merchandise. How'd we do? We blew almost all of it out. Like, we made 10,000 of these, and barely have any left. That means we just have a t-shirt shortage for the next show. That's no problem. We'll make everything else. So that's all good. Let's check our human resources and scouting. So we found Lucha and Hardcore from Latin America. So we found Black Taurus, which is awesome. That's a good. Just having them floating out in the world is great. I've really enjoyed their work in Impact. Like, keep them protected as a monster. They do some fun stuff. Okay. That's it. Everything else I need to do, which includes hiring somebody else for that secret project that I'm working on, is in fact something I can do off air. So, you know what I can do on air before I leave, though, is get the personal advice and see who wants a raise. Becky Lynch wants more money. Sure, we'll give you a little pay bump to help the fact that you lost your title and your first defense by getting knocked out in about 6 minutes. There you go. Enjoy your tiny raise. I hope it helps you feel better. We're going to book a rematch. I think we're going to do a direct rematch just because I want to see a full match between the two. Kind of the fluke that you get knocked out because I have criticals on low, so especially that early in a contest. So I feel like it's warranted that we just book an immediate rematch. Buddy wants more cashola. Sure. We can do that. Buddy Murphy. Change salary. Tiny bump as we always do. Have a little bump ski. Save every time. Personal advice, trust. Montez Ford wants a little money. Oh yeah, let's see what they even did with them. What did they do with you, Montez? I don't know the button to go to results. Wait a minute, can I do it with the mouse? Big Japan, results of previous event. Aha! I can do this. Hey, look at that! They actually, oh my gosh, they main evented. They main evented and they won. So they did put the titles on the line. They must have, because they put them on the line in the main event. And Hoshino and Akira were unsuccessful in getting the belts off of them. All right, I respect that. They at least put them on the line. I respect that greatly. Okay, so we got to put a couple people in. I got to hire this other person. I can do that off air. What I'm still doing on air is personal advice. Oh yeah, Montez still wants a raise. Hadn't done that yet. Here we go. Montez. There we go. Tiny raise for Montez. And what's next? Personal advice, trust. Mastiff wants a little more money. Sure thing. Consultation. Dave Mastiff. What's up, buddy? You want a little bumpski? Get a little bumpski? Little bumpski for Mastiff. Whoop, whoop. Personal advice. Trust. Punk wants more money. Not surprising. Punk, what you want, bud? There we go. Little bumpski for Punk. Personal advice, trust. We're okay. There we go. All right, so we've addressed our usual salary concerns that we have at the end of every month. We have all the title belts that we need currently. We checked to see, well, I mean, we have more than we need currently. We still have the Big Japan tag belts we're trying to get rid of, but the Street Profits are nigh unbeatable. Okay, so I've done everything I need to do on air to prepare myself to book the next show, and there's some stuff I will do off air. So to that end, I can go ahead and hit this fancified button and get my big dumb face front and center so I can thank everybody for watching, no matter where or when you happen to be, and wishing everybody out there chill vibes and clear skies. And if you happen to find yourself in possession of a plethora of positive energy, please share it if you can spare it. And don't forget about your old pal, the Silent G, Rad Gnarly, saying so long for now. We are going to be back on the air Friday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern as we are winding down our time in 7 Days to Die. And I'll let you know that since I'm in charge of the whole thing and I'm sort of co-director or co-president of fun, in that I help run the world in general because it runs off my computer over here, we're going to be doing slightly shorter days in the last 3 weeks with 7 Days to Die, so 40-minute days. So we're going to get done at around midnight as opposed to 1 a.m. So that's a little better for everybody's bedtime. And I'm also, for these last 3 weeks, going to be granting everybody access to the creative menu, so they can build whatever the crap they want, they can stack up whatever they want, they can blow up whatever they want. Essentially, we're just going to fully sandbox it for the last 3 weeks. All right, so hope to see you there. That's going to be tomorrow night, Friday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern time. At best, there's about 7 of us. At worst, there's like 3. But it's fun either way, just hanging and banging. In 7 Days to Die. Speaking of, I got 7 friends live that I can potentially send this stream off to. Let me just wait for Stream Deck to crash, as it always does when I press that button. And then I just press the button again and it works fine. And we can see, man, Iron Mouse has been going for like a week solid. Okay. Oh, yeah, just doing stuff. Yeah, Wrestling on the Rocks is up. Oh, here we go. Somebody that I just started following. All right, let's go say hi to the Peaches. Oh, I think it's doing it. And here we go. Excellent. Everything's working out. All right. Ta-ta for now. Hopefully I see you tomorrow night.